And just like Alexander Haig, we've got it all under control. Thank you for being here. This is Comic Book Spectrum for Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. And as usual, we're going to have some interesting stuff to talk about and some reviews. We're going to have a couple of shopping trips to talk about and your comments. So we'll be back in about a minute or so.
10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Well, we dare a lot of stuff around here. Welcome to the show. I'm Brian K. Morris. And as always, folks, please leave your comments if you're watching us live, and we'll try to answer, try to read them on the air. And if you're watching us on the rerun, we really appreciate you coming by. And just leave a comment below. We'll try to get back to you on it. If you have any questions, let us know. And we're going to bring out the crew in just a minute first. But first, we're going to talk about who brought us here. And for one thing, we've got to thank our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And one of our blogs dropped today. We do it twice a week. We're going to start letting the public see one a week, but we're also going to have one that is just for my Patreon people. We're going to be dropping a new episode of Volcana in the next few days. We got all kinds of cool stuff planned for you, but if you want to find out what it is, you need to come over to Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also, we are brought to you by Rising Tide Publications. In about 6 weeks or so, we're going to be releasing a brand new hardcover book, Santa Stein, the 10th Anniversary Collection, as well as a new book called The Terrors that you'll be happy to see. I don't know, I'll be happy to get that thing out to you. And of course, we are brought to you, as always, by Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Putting together a novel is no easy feat, let me tell you that. And when you've put all that work into it, of course, you want the best graphics to sell it on social media. You want a great wraparound cover, and you certainly wouldn't hurt you to spend a little extra and get a movie trailer, a book trailer for your publication. Well, Jeffrey Hayes can do all that and more at plasmafiregraphics.com. Check out the Facebook page dealing with Plasma Fire Graphics to see some samples. Then pop on over to the aforementioned website and ask about his indie creator friendly prices. You'll be glad you did. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And now we are going to be bringing in some cool guys here, and I'm already tingly with anticipation seeing them arrive here. And let me make sure. Okay, there we go. Got everyone here, and
stop tinkling with anticipation. That's just gross.
So now you tell me. Jeez, after I left a mess and everything.
Warning to everybody, don't drink the lemonade.
Why is it squishing when Brian moves his chair? How the heck are you guys?
Peachy.
Wow.
Brian Rodman is ghoul. He's the cool ghoul tonight. Look at that.
I got this from Retro A Go-Go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
love that
nice.
store.
What's that made of? Is that metal or is it
This
plastic?
is plastic, sir.
Okay.
Like the old school
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can rely on instead of that crappy metal.
I got it. I got that, and then I got. Let's see, where is it? You guys remember my Dracula mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've treated me well at that store. I really appreciate them.
That is very cool. Love it. So anyway, we got the guys here, and of course we will be introducing ourselves as the show unfolds. I don't know who folded it, but that's the way it's going to go. And pardon me, and we want to thank everyone that is here, including and especially author Kathy Jackson. Kathy, mwah, you're the first in here. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope I see you at SI Comic Con this year. It's going to be April 1st at the Benton Civic Center, or Community Center rather, in Benton, Illinois, and it's going to be a lot of fun from 10 to 5. And Carl Witzman is here. Carl, good to see you, and also Donna, Carlene, mwah to you, and Ted Davies Artistry, good evening to you, my friend. And everyone's saying hello to each other, and I wonder what kind of adventures we will have tonight. We are the last ones to ask about that. We have no clue. And I don't know, but am I the only one who thinks it's about time BKM's face was on a wanted poster? What? What do you mean a wanted? Who wants me? That's what I want to know. Oh, for the YouTube thumbnail. Yeah, that would be... Carl has been having trouble with... let's just say Carl's starting to get his mail at Facebook jail, okay? So yeah, Carl, what we need is like a little medallion that, like I just got out of Facebook jail, and with the number of strikes against us, I think that would be cool. Of course, some people are, recidivists, if you will.
All I have to do is post a random thing. When I can get away with offensive stuff, but it's when I post a meme about waving to your friends. 89 days. I have no idea. Now I can still post on my page, but I can't post in any groups, including ours.
Wow.
Until May.
Holy crap.
End of May now. So
Man.
yeah.
Clyde, Joe, have you guys ever been in Facebook jail? Because I never have.
Never.
I've been warned a couple of times.
Well, what Brian needs to do is, like, I don't know if you ever noticed on the Boba Fett, but he's got these little stripes on the side of his head.
Yeah.
Every time you get out of Facebook, you put a little stripe on the side of your hat or your fez. And
underneath my eye, like teardrops.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Robin will love it. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I can hear her getting hot about it right now.
That's weird.
I didn't say it was in that good way. You did what?
She likes a bad boy.
You posted what kind of meme?
Oh yeah,
well.
Take the phone off the hook now.
You're in jail again? Oh.
First of all, I just want to point out, you made a landline joke that is so old.
Oh, and it wasn't me.
No, you did. You said, you were like, take the phone off the hook.
Oh, that's right. It was me. It's so long ago, I forgot.
You can't do that with these.
What's that mean?
Unfortunately.
Oh, listen to this.
Hey, you just turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I want that app that sounds like you're hanging up the phone. That's what I need.
There's an app that does
you
that?
slam the thing down in righteous indignation,
That's fun. They actually have like rotary phone things that you can plug your phone into and hold a phone up. I'm like, are you really that desperate, guys? Like, is it that big of a deal?
I want one that looks like a Princess phone.
They have those.
I wouldn't doubt
it. I can find one for you if you really want.
Would you rather have the Garfield phone?
Yes.
Yeah, or the Superman phone actually was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I had the football phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Sports Illustrated one?
I didn't even play football. I played baseball until my asthma said no. Like that's literally I played no other sports because I couldn't run.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if the football phone was supposed to make me feel better about life. It didn't.
Golf is the sport for you then.
No,
Yeah.
It's so boring.
no. The sport for him is chess.
Oh, yeah.
I
There
am
you-
good at chess, so yeah, I can
are
see
you
that.
now?
Yeah. I'm good
Yeah.
at chess, and I'm also good at a little game called American Chess, which it turns chess on its head. The pieces are all the same. The colors on the board in the squares are different, so your piece, the role of your piece changes with whichever color you land on.
Wow.
It is a lot of fun.
That sounds odd. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I was president of my high school chess club for 1 year. So.
Ooh, you beat me. I'm not that good, but I just
Well, I
like
didn't
playing.
say I was either. I just knew.
Yeah.
I
Put 'em
I
both
think
on the
either I knew
trot.
the right people or I didn't know the right people, and I was
Brian
the only
was
one.
the chess club.
Yeah, me and two other guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the glass set that laid before him.
I had the plastic 3D chess set. You know that
Oh,
was great.
there it is.
But Carl Witzman says, no, that's the toy where you drew with the magnets. And everyone is, and so it's a child's wanted poster. And Carl said, I thought you knew something that we didn't know. Which is, and yeah, it's probable she does. And Lissy, mwah, good to see you. Good evening to you. And Molly Daniels, mwah, hey all. No karaoke tonight, so I thought I would drop in. We are glad you are here. And just had a little comment dump there. Cool. And I was just getting ready to hop in there, getting worried. Well, we just kind of were talking and we're having fun, and then we realized, oh yeah, we've got an audience. We might want to cater to them.
We were literally like, oh crap, it's 7:04. Let's jump in there.
Before they start worrying about us, which they should anyway. And going to the kitchen to grab food. Okay, we'll wait.
Do 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 do.
Bring me back a root beer.
Do,
Yeah, really.
do, do,
Yeah,
do,
no kidding. Oh, wait, she's back. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Not sure how well sweet and sour chicken will do on the desk. They'll be no sweet and sour chicken will do fine on the desk. It's the desk itself that may be a
Did
casualty.
you get a root beer though, Joe? Did she bring you one back?
Oh, man.
Molly,
Rude,
Molly?
Molly. Rude.
please. And Teresa Dunn is there. Good evening to you, darling. Mwah. And everyone's saying hello, 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 hello. And Dawn Doulis is here. Mwah. Evening to you, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well. And watch out, Benton, BKM, Kathy, Amy Hale, and Molly. That's right, you're in there too. Cool. We'll be visiting next Saturday from 10 to 5. There's a 1 hour early bird. Go to the event page for SI, for Southern Illinois, SI Comic Con. And it's going to be a good time. We are going to have fun, whether you like it or not. So anyway.
Yes, you better.
We plan to.
You better, because you're going to be missing the show of shows.
No,
And
SilCon's not till
I'm going to be
September.
live that weekend.
What? Oh, that thing in Chicago?
That little
Yeah,
con,
Brian.
that
You
little.
can get Chris Evans autograph for $400.
If you're
Oh.
lucky.
Oh, yippee me.
You too can take out a small loan to cordially meet one of your favorite celebrities who will immediately forget your existence.
That's right. It'll be the best 10
So
seconds of your
tempting.
life. There we go. There's our thumbnails for next week. But yeah, I would love to go. If it weren't for the fact that I'm going to be in Southern Illinois, then I'm going to be too tired to go anywhere on Sunday. I'd come up on Sunday. But anyway, Joe will be there. Joe, what booth will you be at? And
748.
748. Please visit
Can't miss
Joe.
me. I'm towards the front. You don't have to go and search for me in no artist alley and everything. I'm going to be on somewhere around the main drag. So 748.
Usually, like real close to like a marble.
The main entrance. Like,
the main
real close to
entrance.
the-
Okay.
Oh,
If
guys, I need to take a minute. Look who's
Hi,
back.
Luna.
Oh, she does not care. She doesn't care. Here we go.
Here's the butt
And
shot.
the butt
Hey!
Yeah. Hope you all got your screen captures in. You got to see Luna's backside. Well, Luna, we would return that wink, however. But anyway, Brian Robin, bring on the nebulizer. There we go.
Oh, yes, but I have a fun announcement. At
Please
the end of
do.
the show. Not now. Later.
Oh, not now. Okay,
Let
fine.
it
We will
simmer.
go on in. And the clear plastic that had the bright components. Okay. And hey, don't knock those. That was the only way my mom could use her cell phone after she became bedridden. Okay, well, that's a good use for it.
Yeah.
And Brian Rodman asked Carl, did you subscribe to Sports Illustrated? That's how you got the football fan.
I did not.
Ah.
I think somebody gifted it to
Someone
my
did
parents
and gave you
Yeah.
the free gift.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I had it for just a little bit because I didn't have a landline in my room, so it was just a decoration. So it was like my parents were like, "Here, we're poor. Have this and look at it." And then it went into the garage, and then it got swept away in a yard sale very quickly after that because I didn't have any use for it other than decoration.
Is Dawn saying that she had like the old rotary phone that was clear plastic and you could see the components
Well, the
inside
guts
light
in
up?
it. Oh, that would have been
Oh,
cool.
I think
yeah,
that's
that
maybe
was
what she
cool.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God! Now Molly Dales has a good suggestion. I'm assuming it's for you, Brian. Brian Sport square dancing.
And that's how he died, Your Honor.
That's right. Yeah. And no. The party is always wherever the five of us are at.
And Dosey die.
What a way to go, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
how'd he die? Square dancing like a country bumpkin fool. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, he hadn't worked up to clogging yet.
Thank God he died before that happened. Oh no.
And sorry, Joe, no root beer in the house. Choice is coffee or water. Joe, what would you like? She's only about 6 hours from you.
No, that's
We'll wait.
perfectly fine. I just have to remind myself to always bring Lipton with me
There you go.
because
There you
I
go.
don't do coffee. I really don't.
Oh.
Did you?
I'm
just
sorry.
have a-
My
you just
my
have a
earpieces
speaker
are
release?
malfunctioning. I heard heresy.
What was?
here.
Yeah.
What was that noise that just came out of Eric?
Yeah.
I'm on my second pot today.
All I'm telling
Yeah,
you is this is all I heard. Ooh.
what?
Like, what?
That sound that Loki made when the Hulk slammed him into the Tony Stark's floor. That was Eric.
Puny God.
Puny coffee pot.
Now that's how I felt when I woke up this morning. That's what that is.
Yeah. And Luna butt. Well,
You
we
hear that? Oh, there she is.
Oh.
There we go. Do you see her?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello, Luna. Say hi. There you go. She's like, why are you moving? Stop it.
All right, there we go. We got, and folks, mark off Luna's butthole on your
Been a
bingo
while.
card tonight. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Been a while.
yeah.
I haven't been in here in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Yeah, he's finally
Yeah,
feeling well enough to do that. And Luna. Oh, see, Dawn is in love with Luna's. Never mind.
Oh,
And the Claire phone. And here's a phone, but no service. Nice. and Dawn's got Joe's share. Okay, there we go, Dawn. Dawn, you're
Luna's chocolate starfish.
Thankfully, right now it's not chocolate. She does a good job with hygiene. We're proud of her.
Okay.
There are these streaks across the carpeting, however, like a dog. But
You know, she's not the one that does that. That would be Stanley.
okay, I thought for a moment you'd say, "Well, it'd be me."
That would be me. That's right. When I feel like I need to mark my territory in my own kitchen, I just rub it to town, right? You like
That's
how I
right, my
said
guy.
that, Eric? You like that phrase?
Stanley is your
Yeah.
paddle wheeler.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum. Anyway,
Well, there are no rails.
there are, we
Also,
have-
rated M for mature. That's for
yeah,
sure.
it should be
didn't know.
I for immature. But anyway,
Right.
oh, and here we go. Teresa is moving, and she's in the process of going through her various collection. And speaking of comics, I have Scooby-Doo,
Scooby-Doo
and
and
Kids.
Kids.
Oh, cool.
That's
Excellent,
awesome.
excellent.
Yeah.
And of course, Carl weighs in just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
Don't visualize that, Carl. You'll burn your corneas out.
Yeah, you're gonna blow a fuse or something. So, but whatever you do, we're not here to kink shame. We are only here to judge. So anyway,
By the way, you said that the other morning, Brian,
Yes.
in your No Warning show,
Yes.
and Robin heard you from the bathroom because I had you up on the TV.
okay.
Robin heard you and immediately, I didn't even know she was awake, and I just heard her cackling. She was like, "Did he say that?" I said, "Yes."
Yeah.
It's like, I love him.
Yeah, I get that a lot. That Luke Stone used to always kind of like, how do you get away with that stuff? It's like, I don't dwell on it, just say it and move on. So,
You say it like you mean it, and you keep on going really quickly, and then hopefully they don't notice.
yeah, exactly.
That's how I live my life.
Yep, you're a wild man, and that's what we love. One of many things.
So wild. Oh,
You're a wild man.
let me tell you.
That's right. As he joins another marathon. But anyway, so anyway, let's. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, Dawn says, Carl, I failed. Buddy drew blood, got his paw right on the edge of the. Oh. We're done with this one. Yeah, I'm with Carl. Ouch. And by the way, Rex did not in the Imagon Awards. Oh yes, the Imagine Awards for Imaginarium were announced today. Congratulations to my buddy Sean Delaney, who has a book nominated for Best Nonfiction about the wrestling scene in Evansville, Indiana. Oh, there we go. Brian is decked to the nines there.
I'm an alum.
Yes, you are, and so am I, for that matter. So is Molly and Kathy. But Rex the Piddling Pup is Molly's children's book, and it's about what you think it is. Okay, it's funny as hell too. It's a great read. But it did not get nominated in the awards. I'm sorry. And Calvin has hit me in the same spot. You have my sympathy, Dawn. Oh God. I feel like things retract on me at the thought of that. But anyway,
Molly and I need to team up and do a children's book because I have a great idea. Have I told you about my idea? It's called The Pig That Couldn't Look Up.
No.
Okay, so it's this pig. Pigs don't have necks, right?
Right.
So
does it end in bacon?
Wait. So what's happening is each pig is going to different animals on the farm.
Okay.
And they're showing him how they look up. And of course, all of them have necks and it doesn't work. And finally, at the end of the book, the pig walks up to the farmer and asks, how do I look up? And he says, I've got a contraption that can lift you up and you can look up at the sky. And he puts him in the contraption and it goes up and he finally sees the sky and it's beautiful. The last page of the book is the family sitting down with a nice ham dinner.
Well, at least you didn't show the nail going through the head.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a children's book.
Yeah. So you just have to imply it.
Right. That's all.
Oh gosh, this sounds wholesome. If you get stuck for a writer, Brian, let me know if Molly doesn't pick you up on it. So.
You could have a scratch and sniff ham at the back.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good idea.
That's a touch.
The
There
children's
find a scratch and
traumatization
sniff printer.
series.
And in the beginning of the book, you got to have a scratch and sniff slop trough. So
Ooh, there we go. This has got legs here, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
thighs and rump. But anyway,
hooves.
Kind of
Hey,
book,
what's next? A chicken follow-up?
Yeah,
we could do chickens.
we can. You know what? I could do a whole
the
series.
chicken that wants a suntan.
Ooh, there it is.
There we go. Yeah,
I like this idea.
I love the brain trust here.
I think this is great. It's a whole dark comedy children's books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is there's no way this could go wrong.
Absolutely not. And all of our happy customers
travel to China.
I wonder if we can get adjoining cells in our Facebook.
I think we can get that going. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, this will work out fine.
I know a guy.
And conjugal visits to the Facebook jail.
Not with each other though.
No.
Come on, Brian, you and me, buddy. Ooh. Anyway, so Dawn says it will heal.
Taiwu.
Welcome to No Context. It's the sister show to no warning. It's like now we got no context. Anyway, I'm going to put a star by that one because we may need that later. I have a pit bull in 2 shaved areas. This is not improving. Stitches and neck due to biopsy turned out to only be fat roll and cyst on the sides, still waiting on results. It's going to be a long show.
My condolences. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was. Oh, just
Yeah. It's not easy being the host, I'm telling you. And that sounds good, Brian. I'm afraid to click on these now. Lizzie says Nora once said she wanted to pig so we could have bacon. Now she wants to be a vegetarian, except for bacon.
That's
just remember,
and sushi and meatloaf and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, she's vegan with an asterisk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Vegan.
I don't want to eat vegetables.
Yeah, she eats things that eat the vegetables.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. My dinner poops on your dinner. That's right. That's the way it works. But
I don't know if I've ever met a kid that loves bacon as much as she does. I mean, she will smell it from it's the second story of the house.
Yeah.
You making bacon, Papa? Yes.
And come floating down without her feet touching the ground, right? Yeah. Well, just remember the immortal words of B. Dylan Hollis, who who's a TikTok star, who said that bacon clogs your arteries, but it's not a bad thing because it clogs them with bacon.
Exactly.
See, so exactly. I feel better about taking my Lipitor.
Take it from the almost bedridden guy. Bacon's great. Eat it all the time.
Yeah, me too. Which is why I'm like,
take that as you wish.
Yeah, I'm eating Lipitor like Pez.
Thankfully, that part of my health is actually under control. It's the whole breathing thing I haven't figured out yet.
Oh, nothing then. No worries then.
More bacon.
More bacon.
More bacon. Bacon cures everything. I'll have to rewind only part of that. You may not want to. You may want to just move forward in your life at this point. And Gomez goes, hang on. And the ASPCA is on line 4. And I think I hear all of us being called into HR right now.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And my finger will heal the pig. Yummy. The pig, not so much. And I'd buy it, Brian.
Thank you,
people eating tasty animals. There's our girl. There's our girl. And sprinkles water on bacon. You were born a pig, now you're a vegetable. Oh, God. And the AMA is on line 2 now for the medical advice. Oh, and see, we've had a positive effect. Now Donna wants bacon.
There you go.
There you go.
See, we found our purpose. Originally, we were trying to get people to go into comic shops, but now we found our true purpose in getting people to eat bacon.
Which I think is a purer goal, honestly.
I agree.
But what's best is bacon with comics.
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta be wearing some gloves, or you're gonna get some bacon grease on them comics.
Napkins, sir. Napkins.
Yeah, be sure to take that Action Comics #1 next time you're cooking bacon. It is extra absorbent.
The anxiety just rose.
Okay, Brian just had the tech. Mark that on your bingo cards, kids. So we got to get a winner soon. And the after parties will now be held at Denny's, according to Oh, God. So,
all I'm saying is, God help the Comic-Con that we all show up at.
I know. We keep talking about that. We got to make this happen someplace.
Yeah. Comic Book Spectrum Con, that is going to be a something.
Yeah, it's probably be illegal in the state.
It'll be inappropriate, that's for sure.
It'll be definitely inappropriate. And Nora suggested a comic about bacon. Eric, I think you should drop this zombie.
There you go, man.
Zombie bacon? There has got to be a comic about bacon.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Bacon is too popular for it not to.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, well,
here we go. This is money. Bacon Thulu.
Oh,
you can print the money. Come on.
Yeah.
The zombie-ful world, the bacon-ful world of zombies. Dorothy finds out that the desiccated corpses make good bacon.
Mm-hmm.
So then we've got not just bacon, we've got zombies, we've got cannibalism too.
Or bacon could be the cure to being a zombie.
Is Charlotte's Web public domain?
Yes,
Not-
it is.
Is it really?
I believe it is.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it
What
was.
year was it released?
Not sure.
I
the
am looking it
40s?
up right now.
Oh, if it's in the 40s, then no, it is not in the public
Ah.
domain.
Might not even be that old.
Charlotte's
Wow,
Web
that
was
is messed up.
1952.
Okay, it's definitely not in the
No,
public
no,
domain.
no.
It is
No,
still not.
Wilbur.
Yeah.
So,
And
so
did I
messed
mention?
up.
Oh, listen, here we go. Did I mention Comic Book Spectrum the musical? It's mentioned in a certain story coming in 2023. There we
I
go.
don't
That's
think-
right. She's
Oh,
writing
no.
a story, and
I
certain
don't
5
think.
people may be mentioned in there. So, and Don Dula says bacon, cure, pun intended. You be the judge. And Molly mocks Dawn with her laughter. So anyway, oh God, my stomach hurts now for many reasons. But anyway, who would like to? Does anyone have a Brian? Do you have a review of a comic this week?
I don't have a review, but I will be
Well, talk
talking.
about it.
Here, give me full screen real quick. I'll talk
Oh,
about
yes,
this
sir.
for just
Yes,
a second.
sir.
Um,
Talk to the director.
Hoopla is a wonderful resource. If you are a member through your local library, you might have it. Some places don't. My bad if you don't. But here in Louisville, our public library does give us access to hoopladigital.com. And there I am, because unfortunately, because of my health, I'm not working right now. So I don't have a lot of money to go to comic stores and buy books. So Hoopla is helping me out. And for this coming week's comic book rewind post, I will be diving into Mr. Higgins Comes Home, which is by Mike Mignola and Warwick Johnson Caldwell. And I just want to show you how unique this guy's art is. Like I said, this isn't a review, but I just kind of wanted to highlight this a little bit. So this... It's not like I told the guys earlier, and this I do not mean this as a any kind of slight at all. His style is like the simplicity of like a 4th grader's drawings, but not in a bad way at all. And it sounds terrible, but like it's all really flat. And there's not a whole lot of depth to it, but it works. It looks like a really old, like kind of like it's like a really old painting a little bit. I don't even know if that makes sense, but just like I don't know. I love his style, and this book is an homage to the movie the Fearless Vampire Hunters?
Killers.
Fearless Vampire Killers.
Yeah, it came out in the 60s. So yeah. That'll be coming up in probably in the next few days.
Cool.
I've got some commissions to do, and then I'm going to tackle that article, and I'll give it to one of the guys to post because I can't. Yeah, that's all for me this week, though.
Okay, all right.
I'm just here to heckle you guys.
Oh, excellent. No,
Dad,
actually, I've been.
Dad came up with another great new game show. Can you draw better than a 5th grader?
There you go. There we go.
See, and this is where I would say he absolutely does, because what he did was, it's almost like, you know how like you drew like the really bad looking cars and when you were a kid, and now like people are like taking their children's drawings and like making them into a little more elaborate pieces of art. I feel like that's what this guy does, but that's just his style, and it really works. Like it's a consistent, stylized way of drawing, and I think it's great. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Batman or Superman look like that, but for these types of stories, it's great.
That's very cool. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Ian Gibson. Used to do some very angular work that did martial law. So anyway, we've got more comments here. Molly, Dad loves musicals, so it works. And yeah, Dawn, we're going to do a review after that intro. And Nicholas Tockard, woohoo, for all 5 gents being on. Good to see you, Nick. Check out Nevermind the Furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's a great show. It's much better now than it used to be. And Carl Wisman says, they have actual reviews tonight. We thought we'd try it. And who's this guy, Chrissy? It's good to see you. Mwah. And Hoopla rules. Yes, Nick, it does. I love it. And everyone's saying, and that looks like the New Yorker cartoons. I dig
Yes.
that.
Oh,
trying to figure
yeah.
out where it looks like. Has he drawn some of those, maybe? Or is it like
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. More on the article that I will be someone will be posting.
There we go.
in the next week.
And
So there
someone
we go.
else other than
Yes.
Brian will be posting, yes. And CBS Draw Stream Special. There we go. There we go. And everyone's saying hello to each other, and we're glad to see that. And so, well, thank you, Brian. And thank you for that mention of Hoopla. I've been beating the drum about it for well over a year.
Yeah, you actually introduced me to
that's
it.
right.
It's a great service. It's a great service for us poors.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. Yes,
One of my
more than 99%, yeah.
one of my family members was singing its praises this week, and I'm like, I have told you about this for how long?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but did you know you can get movies and stuff on it too? Yeah, I told you. I felt like
telling me when I told you.
Yeah, I felt like the guy from Sleepy Hollow. We told you. Everyone told you. It was a headless horseman. Yes.
Yeah, what was that? Dumbledore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that
Yes.
movie. Sleepy Hollow is so good.
Oh my god, yeah. And and also I think I mentioned it last time, but the what was it? I blanked out the name, but it's the one where you get Neil Gaiman on storytelling and the masterclass.
Oh yeah, they have masterclass now.
Yeah, including Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
I'd love to get on there and get into some of those. So, but anyway, and yes, here we go. A follow up. We can license this. Pigs in Space.
Pigs in Space.
Copyright infringement.
No, Joe, we license it, but it's a one shot.
What about we could just change it?
How are you going to get Disney money to license something from Disney now?
We've got the Disney guy here.
That's
How
true.
about Disney spy?
Oh.
He's their shill. And Molly says, I found my animated Return of the Jedi comic. The varmints in my storage house knocked over a box. Thankfully, it was on the bottom and unharmed.
Good.
That would have been that beautiful Al Williamson artwork, I believe. So, yeah, that's a good one. And has Brian R. read Tress yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, now we know. And you all have no idea how painful it can be to breathe a broke kid in these circles. We do. We
do.
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
we're writers and artists, so yes, we do know.
Yeah.
That's why I draw my own comics.
That's why I always ask Eric to draw mine. So, and copyright office on line 1. Thank you, Carl.
There we go.
We just have to change the name just a little bit. Sows in Greece. Just sows in Greece.
I like this. There we go. And
Well, there's also always the parody rule.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah, we could do that. And I'm not answering the. Carl says he's quitting.
So all the pigs would be space coppers.
And raise his hand. I feel your pain, Nick, says Molly Daniels. And Bro Kid, I resemble that remark. Dawn, we can have a convention here with all of us. That's the truth. Any of us that make our even a part of our living in the arts. So anyway, thank you, Brian.
Sure, I didn't do anything.
Well, thank you for not doing anything. How's that?
Thanks for nothing, Brian.
Brian.
You showed us pretty pictures.
I did. I
That's right.
showed
You
you
did.
pictures.
That's right. So who would like to go next? Oh, we've got a volunteer. Yes, Mr. Hawkins. Please.
I had to go get me a hat because I realized I didn't have my sock cap on.
Oh, no.
It's been warm here today, so I was like, well, I got a matching hat with Clyde and Brian over there. I did go pick up some comics this week. I'm going to briefly.
I know where it is.
I saw about 10 of those left in a tub over there, but I didn't want to take one out and take a tag off and put it on my head.
Just mini pearl it. Just leave the tag on there.
Just leave the tag on and then sell it and be like, part of my DNA's on this.
Howdy.
And everybody's going like, who? I didn't even know this was a comic. The Last Ronin, The Lost Years.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I picked that up. It's issue 2. I didn't even hunt down issue 1. This one just looked interesting. I'm going to definitely read it. I haven't read it yet. Show's End.
Ooh, yeah.
Finally,
Who's the
and I'll
publisher
review
of that one, Eric.
What?
Who's the publisher of that show?
That's that Mad Cave.
Yeah, I see a lot of
Mm.
people talking about that right now.
Yeah, the shop at Edwardsville I go to doesn't have any of that, but the shop over by work over in St. Louis does have those. So
Oh.
stop there.
Yeah, an artist I follow called named Stefano Carticelli just got hired on with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good for him.
And this one I will review next week because I finally found it. I think it just came out like a week ago, though. It's very late, and that's mainly because it's from Aftershock.
Ooh.
It is the final
Ooh.
issue of The Vineyard.
Ah.
Oh.
I mean, only 2 or 3 months late, and it's not because of the writer, because he had posted it was supposed to come out 2 or 3 months ago, and it didn't. I did pick up the last issue of Sergeant Rock, but I haven't read it yet.
Nice.
But quick review, and it's not really a review. I'm just going. The final issue of Gospel.
Yes!
Oh no!
Are they 4 kids in a costume?
Yes.
Nope, it's the priest.
Ah.
Didn't we
always the
call that
priest.
like 4 issues ago?
Yeah. So it's the priest. He's the devil. He comes, helps out. After they get in a fight, then they need to help save the town. Then you find out Pip, Tip, whatever the kid was that liked to tell stories, was the
Tip.
old guy telling the story in San Francisco to his social worker.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. So 2. But I am going to go back and read the whole thing together and see if maybe it makes more sense, because I just got confused with that one again. But this week on the Mandalorian update,
Ooh.
Yes.
Paz Vizsla's son got kidnapped by a pterodactyl,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of really didn't care. It happens. It always gets away. And then all of a sudden, he loves his son when everybody else rescues him for him. But we find out who rescued Grogu. And it was Jar Jar all along.
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm so glad that guy got a redemption
Me too.
from the crap he got whenever he played Jar Jar.
God bless him.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's Jar Jar. As soon as they showed it, I was like, that's Jar Jar.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I got.
Well, that's good enough. My God, you gave us Jar Jar.
Yep.
Misa
Yeah.
loved that.
Misa saved baby Grogu.
There we go. Yeah, Joe's finally
Oh.
joined the program here with his
There we
attractive.
go.
Good man.
Yeah, I don't
Nice.
have my typical insignia right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the first thing that I could grab without messing up a whole bunch of stuff. I could have got my flight cap if I really wanted to.
There we go. Yeah, eventually I'm going to get like more things on my fez. I've got like a Morgan Comnick gave me a button that is the image of Santa Stein, the front cover.
Yeah.
And then I got a nice enamel pin from Bobby Nash for the snow books and my participation in saying.
I know you have Zombie for World of Oz pins. I don't see them on there.
That's going up soon.
Ooh.
That's going up soon. I promise you. You.
It's going up your butt.
Woo! Zombie Full Adventures.
Nice.
There we go.
Also-
I can't show you where I put my stickers. Because the camera
Nice.
won't reach down here. It's on my computer. Right there.
Yeah, that's what he's
Right
calling it now.
I've got some of your stickers right here.
Hey, you got my mouth on your cup.
Yes. And
Oh,
Oh, I
his drinking
love that
cup.
one.
I thought you meant something else.
The mediocre champion cat. My favorite.
Oh, well, Nick Tucker says Eric is sitting there twitching, going, "Where is the copyright papers?" And Donna says, sits in back and munches on her bacon sandwich. I want one now.
Oh.
I want one now. And review each other's work as a special, you cowards.
We review each other's work sometimes.
We have.
I know I have.
Yeah, I have reviewed Zombie for World of Oz.
Yeah.
I did Zombie Adventures.
Yeah, and Brian has done. I think
I
Brian
did
and Clyde did
Nebulizer?
Memoirs of an Angel.
Yeah,
I
I've
did
done
Nebulizer.
Eric's and I've done
Eric did
yours.
Nebulizer number
And I
one.
did.
Yeah.
I mentioned Joe's too. So
Yeah,
yeah. And Cindy Kep, I reviewed Animal
Yeah.
Line.
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
because she's kind of she's part of the group as far as
she's comic book spectrum adjacent.
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
That's very good. That's very good. That way she doesn't get any the direct blame for this.
Exactly. She's all the positive and none of the negative.
Exactly. CKOEPP.com for a great website, and definitely sign for that newsletter of hers because it is awesome. And leave the tag Mini Pearl. There we go.
Mini Pearl.
And typical Vizsla shenanigans.
What was the creed they spoke this week, Clyde? If you don't know, shut your mouth or something. Don't speak unless you know or something.
Something like something like that. But basically, don't jump to conclusions because it could be a long way down. unless you got a backpack.
Especially if a pterodactyl picks you up and takes you off to feed his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids. So there's pterodactyls in Star Wars.
Well,
like a pterodactyl.
It was a big flying lizard.
Yeah, she makes our rating go from M to PG-13.
Yeah, that's right. She performs miracles.
Yes.
Yeah, it grabbed the kid, took off, out flew all the jetpacks because all the Mandalorians ran out of fuel in their jetpacks and kind of had to drop out. And then I was sure the kid would have been dead. It was like 3 days later they go to rescue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's camp here tonight before we go up that mountain to check that nest to see if your kid's still alive.
Right.
Yeah, the kid will wait.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it'll be fine. He'll be okay.
And then you find out how the Mandalorians eat. They all wander off once they get their meal and find a place to take off their mask.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. I love that they're answering the top questions that are on all of our minds.
Well, Katie Sackhoff asked, hey, how are we supposed to eat if we don't take off our masks? You wander off and eat, but don't let anyone see you eating. Just like you don't let them see you poop.
But you're in charge. You're in charge, so you can stay at the fire pit.
Right.
Yeah, Bo-Katan was allowed to stay because she was leading the hunting party. You could stay here at a place of honor, so you can have light while you eat.
So we can look at you from afar.
Ooh, check out the girl.
Nice armor. Anyway,
creepy Lorian now. All right.
We literally just finished. After this, you're probably really done with watching The Mandalorian. You'll never cast your squinties on that thing again. Yes.
Ooh. So I didn't watch The Mandalorian, but this week I went to the movies for the first time in a year.
Oh wow! What did you see?
I got to see Scream 6. And
cool.
Scream's my favorite horror franchise, and slasher franchise. Yeah. And dude, it was so good. It was almost like it's tied with my second favorite Scream movie, which is the other one is Scream 2. It's actually a slasher movie that is in New York. Looking at you, Jason Takes Manhattan for 15 minutes. And that's all. So, the rest of it's on a boat.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
True. That's true.
But yeah, it was a great movie. It was a good experience. My friend Jeremy took me, and we got hot dogs and soda, and we're in a empty theater.
Oh,
nice.
It was a good date. So
sounds like. And
is there a hole in the bottom of that popcorn bucket?
Popcorn surprise.
Step 1: put a hole in the box.
Step 2:
extra butter.
I hope that's what it is. Rated M for mature. Oh dear God!
We really do need an eye for immature.
We do. We need to work that up. And Molly Dan says, I need to make friends with somebody with Disney Plus to stay for a week so I can watch The Mandalorian. Oh, and this sounds like a personal thing, so I'm sorry. And Nick Tockert likes it because he's a sword nut. That's right. Tune in every Friday to the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, only on YouTube because it's great. And Marjorie,
I will only take organic.
And you're only taking if it's organic.
So no imperial for you. It won't be a crowning achievement.
I can't believe it's not popcorn. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. And of course, we can't prove it by us, though. And anyway, let's see. Let's get back to your comments. And yeah, afraid so. And Grant Lankard, you picked the wrong time to show up. Hello, good evening to you.
Or the right time to show up.
That's true. And Flavicol makes everything tasty. Oh, God. And Lucy says, I pay too much money to hear that popcorn joke. Oh, it's not a joke. It's a way of life, hon. Anyway.
Wait, bring it back full circle. This is the way.
This is the way. That's right. Yeah, I probably need to, because I've already got one marked here because it was. I'm going to go look for that. Oh, we also have this one here.
Yes.
We're marking that one too. Let's see here. Yeah. And, there we go. We got Nick's now. There we go. And this is the way. All right. We've got those starred right now. So we're ready for this show. We've got more comments that we'll use for blackmail later. So now, Joe, did you have anything this week? Or are you still prepping for C2E2?
I'm still prepping for C2E2, but I do need to say that the reviews for these two will be coming on the website as soon as I get a chance to read them.
Okay,
not read them, but to write them, to be quite honest. Herringberg Comics #1 is a very weird read. It's not a bad story, but I have my complaints about it. Only with the editing aspect of it. But if once you get past certain things, it's a pretty decently told story. It's just that one of the major flaws of it is that you can't get behind any one character. It doesn't really spell out the characters in this particular series. And we already talked about this Nubia and the Justice League special #1. I just haven't finished writing the review for that here. And I do have my criticism about that. I already mentioned that as a whole here. But my major concern as of right now is these books here. These books here, because come next Friday, you will be able to get these and more at C2E2 at booth 748 Friday through Sunday, Friday the 31st of March, April 1st, April 2nd. No April Fool's jokes. Why? Because we will be giving away slabs as well, and we will have our own slabs of some of these books there as well. So if you want to be that diehard collector that want to have one to read and one to collect, we got you covered. We got some slab versions of some of our books with us here. And as I stated before, we will also be giving away slabs. With every $20 purchase, you will be entered into certain drawings, such as for this 9.8 of issue #7, which features Miracle Man from the current series of She-Hulk. We have issue #5 from that same series of the current version of She-Hulk, as well as Sensational She-Hulk #1, which is at a 5.0. We will be giving away those here. Raffling off for those who buy $20 or more here. And I'm going to add subject to change because there might be more that we might give away. So it depends on what comes in the mail between now and then here, because there are going to be I'm trying to figure out which books are going to be added into that drawing and whatnot. So that's pretty much the plan as of right now. My chair fell down on me, well, or at least the hydraulics did. Let's do that here. Now that's a little bit better. But that's what the plan is as of right now. I thought I had it here. It was one more book that I was looking into here that I might actually do another review and have that up there and ready. And I thought I had it, but I don't know. I might have to do like a big thing with public domain. I know that other people have already reviewed it, but I'm going to review the whole 6 issues all in one fell swoop. So I'm going to look at that whole series because I see a lot of parallels being a comic book publisher, especially ones that own their own characters and a lot of the stuff that they talked about in public domain. So it's going to be kind of interesting to write a retrospective based upon that.
Yeah. Interesting. Sounds cool. All right. Well, thank you, Joe.
You're very welcome.
Good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
have breaking news.
Oh,
Beep, 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 beep.
So, Tommy Wiseau's new movie,
Oh,
the
good.
creator of The Room, who has not made a movie since The Room,
Oddly enough.
is called Big Shark. And
Oh,
it's coming
dear
to
Lord.
theaters this summer.
Unlike me.
You're tearing me apart, Shark! That's been your breaking news.
Thank you very much for bringing us up to date on that. And let's see. Here we go. Oh, and here we go. Nick Talkert says, I'm only in the chat because you all forgot the weekly No Nick in Chat extortion. Hey, we welcome you.
No, I want Nick in chat
I mean,
because
yes, I'm
again,
glad-
he brings up some good points to argue about.
Yeah.
Yes. And before the zoom in on Hero and Berg, I thought it was a foil covered comic relaunch of Buck Rogers with draw Aaron Gray, Colonel Wilma Deering. Oh, if only.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mind dreams of simpler days. Carl Witzman asks, who had chair gets broken during fit of laughter on their bingo cards? And, and Carl, see, this is why I take out chairs proactively, says Nick. And your backdrop attacks you too. And Grant is saying hello to everybody, and hello, Grant. Glad you're here. And so I guess it's my turn. And we've got a presentation. I tell myself it's been almost a month. I will start posting some stuff to the Facebook page for Comic Book Spectrum, representing the brand here, Eric. And yeah, and my head's really warm now. This is nice. So anyway, we got some stuff here, and one of the things we got was Pop's Chocolate Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
see, I didn't order that because Archie is so hit and miss.
yeah.
But Comics Beat gave that a really glowing review. So
Except I didn't like that thing, but well, it should have had more gore in it. How?
yeah.
You know, it's like, my God, are you blind, man? But no, this is one of the better ones.
And that's the real reason why I don't care for horror, because it's not horror, it's gore. Big
Yes.
difference.
It's two different things. I'm totally in agreement with you, Joe. But this is actually well-written stuff. This is actually really good, and I do recommend it. Other things that came out this week were issue 302 of Knights of the Dinner Table, where you see on the cover Cerebus the Aardvark getting, hailing the people that passed up his numbering. And Mark Waid is represented in World's Finest with a return of the original look of Metamorpho. Which actually it's kind of like a more stylized version, I should say. Let me give you an example. I mean, look at that texture.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
And it has a new perspective on the origin of Metamorpho, in that he, as comic fans know from back then, from Brave and the Bold 57 by Bob Haney and Ramona Freight and Charles Paris, how you doing? That Rex Mason was exposed to the meteor from which was made the Orb of Ra, which is his kryptonite. And he turned it. But the thing is, it has a different spin on it, and this makes up for the Archie thing. And a little avert your gaze if you don't like icky stuff, okay, for about 5 seconds. Because he forgot what his body was supposed to do. And it goes more into the physiognomy here. And like Clark Kent is relating the story of Metamorpho to Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, and said the horror immediately made Mason suicidal, but that wasn't an option. He didn't know how to kill this body. And it's got like a whole bunch of really good things in here. Mark Waid and Dan Mora put out another great issue. Do get this. It's a 10 out of 10.
Somebody was reading the Sandman issue of Element Girl, weren't they?
Yes. Yes. And taking notes. And also another good one is Superman. Another really good issue with a new character named Marilyn Moonlight. I like that name. And this is another 10 out of 10. Joshua Williamson is writing this, and I can't remember the artist, but he does a fantastic job in here. Jamal Campbell, and it's got a really nice twist. It is probably the first Parasite story I've enjoyed since his premiere.
Ooh.
Wow.
Really think Parasite's been overused, but this has a really nice twist. As Superman finds the menace of the town multiplying. Now, here's the big thing. I haven't been to Ollie's in about 2 months. However, we went.
He bought the store.
It feels like it. For one thing,
he just didn't buy the store. He bought the whole franchise.
That's right. Don't think I wasn't tempted.
Restock on aisle 4. Restock on aisle 4.
As Brian's headed to aisle 4. Yeah.
And trying to figure out a way to avoid his wife. But anyway, otherwise we're having that talk again. But no, I did pass up Golden Age Wonder Woman Omnibus number 3. That was tempting. I still may get that. And also one of the Legion of Superheroes omnibuses with the last Jim Shooter stories and the first Carrie Bates, just prior to them reappearing in the back of Superboy again and taking over the magazine. Now, I bought the $8 packet. They have like 10 comic books for like $5. Well, they have a $10 packet, or excuse me, an $8 packet, pardon me. And I wanted it because I could see the spine, and I missed this the first time out. I wanted to get this, the Tim Drake Pride Special. But they also had in there, all from 2022. And it's like one issue of Batman Urban Legends of the Flash, Aquaman, and Black Adam. And also 2 issues of Aquaman, including the first, and 3 issues of Detective Comics, which is pretty cool. Future State Gotham, number 10, which is kind of interesting because it's black and white. That was kind of interesting. And not only did they have this issue, they had the variant cover of it as well as the variant edition of Harley Quinn number 18. So I got one book for $6. I paid $8, and I have all these too. That's not a bad bargain.
Does all these have Marvel comics too, or is it all DC?
This particular package was all DC. I think the $8 ones are all DC, but they also have like $5 packets, and they have not only Marvel and DC, but they've also got Valiant.
Oh, okay.
The original Valiant from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Some G.I. Joes, IDW, Boom, a whole bunch of really great comics in there. Definitely worth getting. Definitely worth checking out. I also got, and I'm going to start with this because it's not in perfect condition, but this is like a vinyl bound book, Marvel, the characters and their universe. And this has got like, and you won't be able to see it, but it's got like kind of a 3D-ish kind of cover. And it's all history of Marvel with certain pages reprinted. And it details the characters from
It's
their
almost
very
like
beginning.
an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
It's like an encyclopedia volume that they used to run for like Scholastic.
Yeah. And some really good stuff, including some of the TV tie-ins for the character, like Captain America here. It was published before the current spate of Marvel movies, but it's a pretty good book. It's a $35 value, I believe. I checked it. I didn't get it the first time out, but I also got the second volume of the omnibus of the old Super Friends comics.
Yeah,
with artwork by Ramona Fraden, Romeo Tanghall as a penciler for once. Very famous for his inking skills, with a whole bunch of great art and a cover by Alex Toth and reprints of covers of various reprints that were issued at one point or another. Stories by the great E. Nelson Bridwell, and also Bob Rozakis has one in here. And it's just raw comics all the way through. Good stuff, including the backup features. And I love it, in the inside flap. Meanwhile, the Hall of Justice. With the flashing lights and everything. This is a $70 value. I should say that the $35 book I got for $10. This is a $70 book. I got it for $10. Okay? Oh, no, 20. Excuse me, 20. And then I also got this.
That's the good stuff.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have all but 3 of these now. This was the 4th. I have the first 21 of them out of 26. And this is like 1950 when Jules Pfeiffer starts writing The Spirit. The famous cartoonist, the guy who wrote the screenplay for the Popeye movie with Robin Williams. But anyway, this is the 1950 edition. Has a thing where they re-acknowledge Denny Colt and how they tell how he can keep the upkeep on his home in the cemetery. How he can afford it.
Can you show some interior pages on that one?
Oh, gladly.
I still got to find the ones where they talk about Denny before he became the Spirit.
Yeah. And this is look at this stuff.
Oh, I love his splash pages.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes. And you have so many people now in comics who if you want to learn how to do comics, get one of these.
Yeah.
This is the guy that wrote the book on how to do comics. In fact, he wrote several books.
I was gonna say, literally, I have that book.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't have that one, but I do have the first copy of the first one from I want to say Warren Publishing.
Yeah.
Spirit. I have like the first like 7 or 8 plus some odd ones, and then it goes into like the kitchen sink run. I have several of the kitchen sink runs and stuff like that.
I tell you, a great book is the interview with Frank Miller and Will Eisner.
Yes,
it is spectacular.
Yes, it is. That is a super book. But yeah, this is, and they also had volumes 2, 3, 10, and this is number 20 at my local store. So
nice.
And so I got like about 155, or no, I figured it up is about $210 worth of comics for about $55.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's not bad. Even if I give, like that big pile of comics I got in the bag, some of them I'm going to move on to other people that I know will enjoy them. But definitely, if you haven't, we've been talking about viable alternatives, and we don't want to take away business from comic shops. That's not our goal here. But if you have financial issues, if you have or you just want to pick up some really cool, weird stuff, check out your local Ollie's. They're not everywhere, but if you go to the Ollie's website, you can find the closest one to you. So definitely check that out. Check out hoopla.com and get you some spirits. Seriously, you need some Will Eisner because that is so good. It is so good.
A
And
lot of the things that Ollie's carries.
And look at Will Eisner stuff that's not Spirit, because I got a couple of books one called The City and the other one called, I think it was New York. New York. I looked at that and I was reading and I was like, this is really not a comic. This is like an illustrated story, but it is a comic.
Contract with God is
excellent.
Amazing. Yeah.
I have to look for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was that other one about the Elder Zion scrolls or whatever, about that mythical comment? You know the one I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
I don't remember the title either, but it's a fascinating example of the hoax about an alleged book written by the Elders of Zion, which was used in Nazi propaganda against the Jews as a sign that they were taking over.
Yeah.
sort of thing, that they had an organized plan for it. Fascinating story. I've got it in the other room. In fact, I've got one here. I don't think I can reach it, but I've got a book over here again that I bought at Ollie's. It's by Paul Levitz on the life and graphic history of, maybe I can reach it. Hold on a second.
Stretch.
Yeah. If you hear something breaking, it's probably me. Yeah, here it is. Here we go. Will Eisner, champion of the graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a introduction by Brad Meltzer.
Man, I gotta get my hands on that. That is a good book.
Yeah, seriously, and a lot of it is shot from the original artwork.
Ooh.
So let me move over here. So.
Peanut butter and jealous.
Yeah, I fully understand. Plus the history of Will Eisner himself. It is a dandy little book there, and now I'm trapped behind it. But anyway,
hey, I did want to address.
We also have this one too. I got.
Oh, I saw that we act. I saw somebody asked earlier if I had read Tress, and I'm wondering if they meant Tresse. Because the artwork does kind of resemble, like a more flat, heavy black and white, angular style.
Yeah.
So, if this is the book that you were talking to, I can't remember who said it. Talking about. Yes, I have read it. It's wonderful. I've also watched the show.
Excellent. Yeah. So, very cool. And let's see. And Dawn says about that chair had it coming, right? And Dawn has stepped up and I put it down. It was a righteous kill, says Nick Tucker.
That's right. Justice.
That's right. Damn chair. Look at how it was dressed. Anyway,
what?
Only Brian Rodman would have a reaction to that comment. How it was dressed, really.
If you have Brian Morris said something stupid and set Brian Rodman off on your bingo cards, now's the time.
Check it now. Check it
now. You may not get another chance. And Mr. Tiger says, "Dang it, Rodman saying peanut butter and jelly makes me want to watch Flypaper again." And then what is it? I was watching a Hot Ones with
I bet you were.
Austin, the guy that was in the Elvis biopic.
Austin Butler. Yeah.
Austin Butler. Yeah, it's a fantastic show. He's absolutely great. But he ends it with talking about one of his favorite dishes is peanut butter, or he had to eat peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and
banana,
like jelly and bananas and bacon sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
And he made, like, at the close of the show, he made peanut butter and jelly. And it made it sound so good. The first thing I did when I watched it this morning is I went downstairs and I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So
yeah, he didn't have he kept the voice.
Yes,
he kept the voice of Elvis for like 6 months to a year after the movie was over because of his method acting. I love Brian Cox was talking about method actors and he was just being a crotchety old man.
Oh God,
and how stupid it was. He's like, don't do that. Just go in and do the job and go home. Stop.
That's right. Just hack it out, says the great Shakespearean actor there. Yeah. Thank you for that, Mr. Cox. And it's like he's also in my one of my favorite movies ever, The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And he has this scene that is very funny where he talks about his wife's dog that is licking its naughty bits.
Yes.
Or about his butthole. And it's a memorable speech. And then I remember this guy's done Shakespeare. But anyway, and yes, we made it back to bacon because it's always
it all comes back to bacon. Always.
That's right. So anyway, that leaves Clyde Hall in order to save this show and bring us back some sense of dignity that the rest of us have apparently squandered.
Make us wholesome, Clyde.
Well,
work your miracle, Clyde.
Hey, I did an interview at least, I did a review at least, so. However,
you're the He's like, unlike the rest of you hacks.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Hey, I picked up some things this week. It was really a light week, but They didn't, like I said, I didn't order the Archie book. Now I'm going to have to try to track it down because I heard too many good things about it. But
It's worth it. It's seriously
okay.
worth it.
But this one I was really looking forward to. And you know how sometimes you have a really interesting moving into a new neighborhood and your neighbors are kind of weird and there's an older lady out on her lawn putting out saucers of milk and you think she's feeding strays, but she's actually doing like some sort of ritual and it just kind of draws you in. Well, this isn't.
You just explained me in my neighborhood.
Well, you got to be more interesting than this because I was like, okay. I like the art, but as far as the story, I'm like, this gives me absolutely no reason to pick up issue 2.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Clyde, are you going to throw a comic?
No, I like the art. I like the art.
Be mindful. Clyde doesn't just throw comics; he shreds.
I shred comics, and this one doesn't deserve the shredding. But I was just one of those I was looking forward to because the concept sounded good, and I'm like, where did it go? It's, I guess maybe the second issue will come out, but I was kind of disappointed.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? The Blue Book, issue 2. That's the continued look at Betty and Barney Hill case of the UFO abduction.
Oh, yeah.
And it has a backup story. Each one has a backup story that deals with a different. The other one was a flying man. It looked kind of like a steampunk account. This one is the Green Children, and I had never heard of that one. So it goes back many centuries. So in a place called St. Martin. And I kept thinking that they were going to go, they're green because they talked about the place they came from being different and all. I was like, they're St. Martians, huh? But they never really made that connection or anything, so I was disappointed. But no, it's a good second issue. It's just the Green Children was a weird one. I never heard of that. But Nightwing, the newest Nightwing, 102. It's still good if you like the Titans because it's very much Titan oriented now. I'm not sure whether it's different. I'm not sure if I like that a whole lot or not. I really like the focus being on Nightwing and maybe a guest star instead of a guest cast every issue. So
they really don't want you to forget that that's a Nightwing book.
Yeah, it's kind of. It sells it, it's just.
Well, you better get used to the Titans because that's going to be the new
Justice League.
The Justice League for the time being. Yeah.
It's fine as long as Mr. T joins.
Yeah. And that is fine because, team to team. But if you have a Nightwing book, and I know he's the leader, and occasionally them showing up or having some interaction is fine, but I don't know. It just seems like they've taken over. So we'll see how it goes. Al Ewing's Wasp. Good read. If you liked the Ant-Man focus last year for his anniversary, this is completely different, but equally as good. It looks at the original Wasp and the latest iteration of the Wasp, shows a connection between their backgrounds, and goes all the way back to the very first villain that the original Wasp faced. So, good stuff. This is not from this week, but I picked it up after everybody was talking about Superman Lost last week. And I concur. This was the next to best thing that I read this week. It was really, really quite good. Basically, the premise is that Superman goes off on a JSA call or JLA call, and when he comes back, like an hour or a couple of hours passed for Lois, but 20 years have passed for Superman.
Oh,
that was a good book.
That was
good. Yeah,
that was, and the explanation of it, because Bruce Wayne shows up going, "Oh, he's here," and Lois is like, "What have you done? What have you done?" And has to come clean. But the story, the background of how it came about, you're going, "Yeah, I could definitely see how that would work out." And they made it not just explaining, but they made it entertaining in the explanation. So,
yeah, he did a good job of handling that. For those of you who don't know, Priest, it's by Christopher Priest, formerly Jim Owsley, wrote a whole lot of great Power Man and Iron Fist, and then moved on to create Quantum and Woody. Green Lantern, Emerald Dawn, and these are the two guys that wrote one of the best Deathstroke the Terminator sequences. About the only one I like, because I'm not a huge Deathstroke fan.
Mm-hmm.
They did a fantastic job, and I've really been looking forward to this limited series coming.
Yeah. So I'm probably aboard for all of that one. That was really good. But what I'm reviewing this week, I did a little a snippet kind of review over at Comics Beat for it, and I liked it well enough. I wanted to do a more in-depth interview. So it is called Dead Romans, #1 of 6. It is from Image Shadowline Comics, and I like history, and I like it. I like war comics. So when you have something that is both, and it's well done, I like to give it some props. I don't know how popular historical things are, but if you guys remember Seven Swords, that's a whole plethora of characters from both history and from literature that they put into sort of a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen premise, and I like that. So, but this is, and I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about the artists, because I thought that was one of the strongest parts of this book. But to get the preliminaries out of the way, it is Dead Romans #1 of 6. It's an Image Shadowline book. The $3.99 cover price is a bargain. It is written by Fred Kennedy, and the illustration and letters and everything else is by Nick Marinkovich. And it is a maturity level of M, because, warfare, Roman Empire, just Emmett all the way. While I write for various sites, this is my own independent feature, and it should not be considered representing any views of those sites. So let me show you what I liked in the artwork here. We have an opening scene, and they're pretty good about using their space just for, I don't think there are any ads except on the back cover. So they use their space well, but they do, the pacing is very dramatic visually. So there are some blank spaces here and there, but here we have a campaign, Roman legions on a campaign, and a little up close look at their column.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And later on, we have a scene like in a tent, and an attack begins. And we have some really, really good lettering, some sound effects there. Very consistent throughout. There's some good ancient warfare type sound effects. So I knew Eric would be pleased.
Yeah.
Well, the last couple of books I reviewed didn't have very much of that, so I kind of missed it. Here's a more placid outdoor scene of just the landscape. And,
oh, that reminds me of Frazetta a little bit.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh yeah, and then here we have when it all goes to crap, and look, it's a big attack, and again, more sound effects.
Yes.
More very cool lettering sound effects. Those details on all the armor and things. And they gave us some previews from next issue. I really, really, this one made me go, ooh.
That's interesting.
2-page spread. So I thought, like I said, the art is definitely a selling point for this book. And it deals with a real life historical event. So it is the stuff of legends that grew out of this battle, and it is also history. 3 Roman legions, a unified tribal army of Germanic warriors, and the honor of the empire serve as backdrop for this Image Shadowline miniseries. General Varus, governor of the Rhineland territories of Rome, leads his forces on a campaign of suppression. The less friendly Germanic tribes, some of them were allied with the some of the Germanic tribes were allied with the Romans, or at least were friendly with them. But the less friendly ones are causing unrest and must be dealt with, as only Pax Romana can. Luckily, the governor has among his forces the decorated cavalry officer Arminius. Now, he was born a Germanic prince of a Rome-allied tribe, like we were talking about, but he's now served in the legion with great distinction, and he became a Roman citizen. So, from slave, captured person of importance that kind of assures your cooperation with the Romans, to Roman citizen. So now he embarks on a campaign that will further subjugate the Germanic people of his blood as part of the Roman Empire proper. Or does he? The good. Arminius and Varus are two actual persons of historic significance, and the campaign that they embark upon is equally real. The reasons behind perhaps the greatest defeat of the empire at the height of its power are the core of this story. Scripter Fred Kennedy captures our interest with relatable human emotions as grounded today as they were in Augustus's Rome. Arminius's love for Syrian slave Honoria, the native people's rage against Romans' military subjugation, and Varus's overconfidence. All those together set a fitting stage for the saga of the Lost Eagles. Kennedy shepherds these elements and personalities smoothly in this opening chapter. It's sort of the antithesis of The Neighbors. What The Neighbors didn't do in hooking interest or making compelling characters, Kennedy did here very well. Illustrator and wearer of all the other caps, Nick Marinkovich, takes our breath away, I think, in those action sequences, as well as the tender moments that some of the characters share. His style is dramatic and sometimes harsh. It's never art of a luxurious aesthetic, I don't think, but it's like he took the struggles of an ancient campaign of subjugation, including the fighters and their families and their servants along on that march, and just distilled it down into his inks. He places us into those muddy sandals of warriors on the march, and then also the ones that are waiting with foreboding in the Teutoburg forest. With minimal dialogue, Marinkovich relates the legion's strengths and plights by showing them in a stark way. His illustrations make us experience marching in the rain and getting soaked down to the skin, just like their soldiers do. The comforts that those in charge bring into the field, including servants, before understanding what a blood-soaked landscape it's going to become. The artwork here is effective as only the best warfare renderers are. And I'm thinking, like you said, Frazetta. I'm thinking Kubert. I really got some vibes like that of people that do warfare well. The bad. If you're not familiar with the historical battle, the opening pages can be a little bit confusing at the start because while the artwork is, I think, superb, the style does not always make identification of specific Roman soldiers easy. You don't know the faces yet. And in the opening salvo, that's a critical matter. So I think it was the second reading that I did where I nailed who everybody was. The issue itself sets up the situation well, but it is briefly set up. Overall, the issue feels a little light in the amount of story it covers. And again, that art pacing uses space for drama over propelling the narrative as its primary goal. But for balance, then we get those preview pages. There's like 5 preview pages from next issue. So it didn't really feel like you were cheated, but it does feel a little bit light. Although it does set up the conflict very nicely. So the takeaway. It's promoted as a tale of love and war. And I think that Dead Romans #1 succeeds on both fronts. Fans of historical drama are going to enjoy it, especially if any of you have watched 2011's The Eagle or the TV series Rome. I think that this is right up your alley. And readers who simply like war comics, I think, will enjoy it. And if you have those that are open to war comics, but also the romantic and the costs of war, those that look for the folly of love and warfare, and that other part of the trifecta of tragedy, I think that you're going to see, knowing a bit about the history that they're covering, I think you're going to have your complete triangle here. So For a book as perfect as a newly minted denari in its appearance, plus using such a fascinating moment in Roman history for its focus and overlayering it with a compelling story of love and loss, Dead Romans #1 gets my solid rating of 7 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Very cool. All right. Super.
I feel like Clyde's 7 out of 10s are my 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it did have a few issues of, the story is a little light, that confusion of the image because we just don't know them. Needed a couple of pages for more introduction so we would know who each person was.
Don't worry,
by their
it's
look.
a good thing, Clyde. You're just more professional than I am.
No.
That's all that means.
Us.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't want to speak for everybody, but yeah.
Yeah, all things considered, yeah, it's true. And of course, we rely on him to save the show. Carl Wisman reassures there's no pressure.
No pressure.
And Green Children of Woolpit. And yes, says Nick Tucker, the Green Children, nifty bit of oddity. And the Green Children are a historical unsolved mystery.
Ooh,
Nick
cool.
Tucker says, Dawn, I thought that was referring to your cat for a moment. And yes, listen, gotta love spicy bits of tawdry historical strangeness. And Carl Wisman loves how Nick prepares and bookmarks with the post-its, like with the scenes with the Romans, but which Nick Tucker likes. And we were talking about, it's going to be good. Clyde has his book flags out. And Carl asked, is Verton generics in this story, or was it before that time?
Not in this story.
Okay, there we go. We are here to answer the burning questions, the burning questions you can't.
At least not by that name. So, and it's a 6-issue series. So, if that's part of the Teutoburg Forest campaign, it may end up being. But
yeah.
We're here to help with your burning questions, but not your burning loins. Back to
That's true. That's for the After Dark episodes. So anyway,
that's the green room.
That's the green room, yeah. And Virgin Generics, and I saw that name, and the first thing I thought of was asterisks.
Oh,
the French, that great French strip. So
yeah.
So anyway, we still have about half hour. Does anybody have something they would like to discuss?
Didn't we want to talk about Wizard?
Oh yeah, we were going to rag on Wizard. That's right.
Yeah.
That's so Wizard.
A couple weeks ago, I asked because I was a young pup when these four were, becoming senior citizens, and I have fond memories of Wizard magazine, but I was corrected gently and lovingly by all four of these men. Wizard. To tell me that Wizard was not so great. So yeah, take it away, whoever wants to go, because I know nothing about this. I loved Wizard magazine.
Well, if you knew nothing about comics, Wizard would be a great magazine.
I guess I didn't know, what do you mean, like how they work, or or how they work, how they the business of comics? Is that what you're talking about?
You turn the pages and you read them.
How does who? I don't know.
Ryan just felt lucky he had the book right side up. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't read. There's the pictures, though. This is good.
I feel Joe chomping at the bit, so I'll make mine quick. But no, mine was the fact that I was a retailer at the time.
Okay.
And I was seeing what it was promoting the collector aspect over the historical or the artistic aspects of the medium. And also I knew some of the people that were some of the consultants, and a lot of it was, I shouldn't even say a lot of it, but I know there was a percentage of them that were using it for their own profit. That basically you undervalue a comic, and then start at your shop. You say, okay, I want to, and I'm just pulling one out of the air. New Mutants 87, first Rob Liefeld. And suddenly everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll sell you this book. I'll sell you this book. Because they'll also list it as this is one that could be trending soon. And so all of a sudden you've got these people, these shops buying up copies of this specific book. And then a couple months later, oddly enough, the price goes up. astronomically.
I see.
See, so whereas in a lot of cases, because you know supply and demand, if all of a sudden that you have like a crap ton of even a valuable comic, in theory the price should go down because you're gonna meet that middle ground between availability and fanish desire to own.
Yeah.
But instead, now you've got all these books that are now supposedly rising in value.
And what year was all this? Like, when did that really like hit the peak of hurting the business?
1994.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say-
So like right after Image started, then.
Yeah, and in fact,
During the
Image-
time that
Right.
Image did.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, Image and Valiant were probably the two main comic companies that really benefited from the Wizard explosion, if you will, because Wizard took them under their wing and said, and said, that we will make you guys into stars. So yes, Clyde.
Well, just to add to this same thing, in reading, because I really didn't, I was okay with Wizard. We sold a lot of books in the store, like you said, but I did some research, and as it went along, Wizard also had this going on for it, like especially Valiant comics. Okay, I never really saw a big appeal to Valiant, but we definitely had the loyal people that would buy it all the time. Well, come to find out, some of the people that were saying you need to stock up on this title had bought a big part of the print run so that they could sell it. And so you have people that are saying, this is really, if you don't get this one, you won't have a complete set and you really need this one. It's really, and people were going, and I got it. And I was like, this is not that
What's so
good.
special about it? Yeah.
Yeah. But what was special about it is they said some of the people that were writing this were, when they became successful and became such a big thing at Wizard, they would buy half a print run because they knew it was going to go up and they would make money off of it. And it was big money for an individual, but too far beneath it for like the fair trade groups to go, hey, you can't promote it. And then you can't promote it like it's a neutral review or a neutral, tip and own all, it's just not right. So that's where a lot of the bitterness, I think, comes from.
Yeah, Nick makes a good comment here. So it was insider trading schemes for speculators. That is,
wow.
Yeah, that price guide was the beginning of what we consider modern speculation, and that's where a lot of this stems from. Wizard
the founders of Image or Wizard, their family owned a collectible shop.
Yeah,
I see. See, I never paid attention to like the guides section of like which comics you should buy. I liked all the cool articles. Like I told the guys in one of our chats, like I loved the like there was an issue that they did like a special like DC treatment of like the Marvel Ultimate run and how they would change the different characters, what they would look like, what the premise would be.
That's
the stuff that I loved in Wizard. And so I didn't know any of this stuff was going on because I was in like, I don't know, like, I mean, when I first started, I was in middle school, high school when I really read them. So didn't pay attention to any of that.
You got caught up in the sizzle, but you didn't see.
I knew nothing about what the business was. And I mean, I was a kid. If you know a middle schooler who understands the business of comic books, you need to give that kid a job.
There's a lot of people who don't understand
while you were a middle schooler, I was a high schooler going into college.
Right.
And being in that convention scene, especially dealing with collectible card games and being representatives for different companies for those collectible card games, I got to see this stuff firsthand. This is one of the reasons why, out of everything that was going on with Wizard, the best thing that ever came out of Wizard was Toy Fair, because Toy Fair saved the toy market for a lot of reasons. And the speculation that they did on toys was excellent.
Yes,
but what they did with comics was so insider. It was beyond belief. You had companies fall by the wayside because you had retailers all of a sudden leaving Overstreet to use the Wizard price guide because it was updated more rapidly, once a year to every month. Wizard was updating theirs every month. So
Whereas
now all of
Overstreet
a
at the
sudden
time
you
it started
saw,
was doing it annually.
Yeah.
They did eventually get a monthly magazine though for about 2 years. So because I
Right.
used to write for it. So
But-
I'm sorry, Joe.
but the point was, it's like now all of a sudden that the Jim Lee X-Men #1 went from cover price to about $15 in less than a month.
So
Yeah.
Wizard is the reason that happened then.
It certainly put a lot of kerosene on that fire. Yeah.
Okay, because see, I just thought I didn't realize. I mean, I never really researched.
It's
a lot
not the
into
only
why.
reason. Yeah. 'Cause
Right.
News media was
Oh yeah.
Right.
showing,
Yeah.
news articles of this comic from 1942 is worth
Yeah, and it was
$100,000.
like you
It's a
should go
number
buy all
one.
these
So
brand new number ones.
people went
yeah.
out seeing,
Yeah.
oh well, all number ones are going to be worth money. Let me go buy those.
Okay.
And then
yeah.
they come to that Wizard magazine, and Eric, you can speak to this too. We get to Gen 13 #1 with 13 #1 issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got the slipcase.
and see, now our store, we were really good to go, hey, if you want all of those variant covers of #1, that's great. We'll be happy to order it for you. We made a lot of money from Wizard magazine. We had discussions. One of the best discussions ever was like casting a Justice League movie based on what Wizard said, and then what everybody else was saying. No, not that actor. This one, not that actress. This actor.
Yeah.
So, that kind of stuff was.
I remember that.
That's shop talk. It just, those were great. That was fun. That was wonderful.
That's
Stuart
So we
would
would-
never have been Xavier without Wizard magazine.
yeah. But we would, I, as working the counter, I would, and the guys running the shop would go, look, if you like this book and you want that many, great. Buy what you like, not what it says is going to be worth a lot of money, because nobody knows that.
Yeah.
And the guy down the road, running his own little shop, would sell them everything and promise the moon of, this is going to be send your kids to college, which, and then the kids would come back a year later trying to sell their stuff. And he would be like, nope, I'll give you 50 cents a piece for it, So.
Yeah. It's funny you talk about like all the #1s. I'm staring at 2 copies of #1 Wildcats from Image Comics right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all that was part of that big boom for
there's
speculation, and it
there's
just
so many of them. It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Wizard started that whole speculation drive. Now, mind you, it's not the first time that speculation has ever been mentioned, because you got to go back. I think it's like the 1970s for the Marvel Guide to Collecting Comics, and speculation was talked about in that particular issue, where it was up here. It's like, well, looking at what's coming out that month, you have to take a look at what could sell out as opposed to what may be available in your area and all this other stuff. And it spelled it out in Comic Book Collect, in that issue of Comic Book Collecting, the Marvel Guide to Comic Book Collecting. Now, mind you, that was like a small little pamphlet and everything. And explained, how to look at Overstreet, how to look, how to grade comics, and all this other stuff that most people won't really get into if they just went and just buy.
Right.
I kind of thought of it.
Turned all of that onto his head and gave you nice articles about the behind the scenes with all the artists and everything. One of my favorite parts of Wizard, the actual Wizard magazine, as opposed to Toy Fair, was the how to draw section, because they used to give you how to draw from those who were currently drawing like the top books.
Yeah. Didn't they even have their own like how to draw superheroes book? I had that.
They had like 4 or 5 of them.
Bart Sears did the art.
I can't pull them out because my friend has those books now. My friend has a couple of those books.
Yeah, I think I remember, because if I remember this one correctly, it had terrible paper in it.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
had like the
yeah.
superhero here, and then just like awful cardstock, shiny, glossy paper that you
Yes.
had to like try and
Yes.
use a pencil to carve in the drawings. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Ew.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
So,
awful.
but I kind of look at it like this. And I talked with some friends that are more like your age, Brian Rodman,
Mhm.
and said, "What do you guys think about this?" And they were in the same boat as they. It taught them a lot about comic books and the characters and how to draw, and had a lot fun discussions. And they were like, some nostalgia about it, but they weren't like deeply steeped in nostalgia. They just went,
Yeah.
well, remembering the comic books of the time, if they hadn't done it, somebody else would have. It was just,
Oh yeah.
it was going to be inevitable.
Yeah.
But here's why I kind of look at it is like, okay, when you're a little kid and you go to the carnival and you have fun with the rides and you go on the different and the food is good and it's different than what you get at home, and then you play the ducks and you
Yeah.
find out, it's like, oh look, if I get an 18, I'll get a prize, and they pull it out and go,
Right.
you got an 81, sorry kid.
Yeah.
So for people, some people will remember the good stuff and then they go, well, I'm not playing the ducks anymore,
Right.
and remember the good stuff. But if you if you tried to play the ducks and you lost $20 as a little kid and your mom was like, we're never coming here again, that's a negative memory for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just depends on your experience and probably what age you were. I know kids that were mowing lawns all over town to come and spend their money with the comic shop, hoping to have an investment. Those are the bitter people today.
Yeah, see, that was never on my radar. As
Yeah.
I read comics for the art and the stories, didn't
Right.
care about the collector stuff, and now I do. Like I have a few number ones that I'm proud of, but I still like money. I don't know. For me, there are a lot of money that is wrapped up in collecting, and I just use it for different things. Like it's not knocking anybody who spends a fortune on collectibles. That's cool. That's fine. Do your thing.
Yeah.
But that's just never been an interest of mine. But it sounds like Wizard was more than just like some people had a good experience, some people didn't. It sounded like it really did a lot of damage because of how they kind of lied and used the system.
It did abuse the system, but well, I trust what Clyde says more so than my perspective of it, only because I grew up during that time in its heyday. So when that first one came out, I was like a junior or senior in high school. I knew what comic book collecting was before it. I went through it and I know what it is afterwards.
Gotcha.
And what I saw with Wizard was the tip of the iceberg of ultra speculation.
Yeah.
Where and like you said, let's take the Wildcats #1.
Yeah.
I was there when Wildcats #1 originally came out.
Yeah.
One, that brand new comic book day. You can get it at cover price. Wait 2 weeks, and that Wizard magazine comes out. Even though they have 20 of them still left behind the counter, it's no longer cover price. It's $15, all because Wizard speculated on that because it is a hot trending book.
And then when people realized it was a bunch of
featured artists from Wizard on there.
Yeah. Well, you see, Brian, you raise a good point because there was a pattern that, of course, as somebody working in the retail end of it myself, I noticed that there were a core group of collectors, or I should say speculators, who would latch onto something and milk it for about 2 years until everybody else hears about it, by which time it's too late. And the original instigators have moved on to something else. Like it used to be, Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Then they went into
Beanie
Babies.
Hey, I remember when at the shop during the height of Wizard and the height of as the speculation amped up. I remember older people coming in going, these would be your speculator types going, I'm going to take, I need 5 of this and 10 of that. And them talking amongst themselves about how bad the sports card market had just had fallen, the bottom had fallen out of it, and yet they were doing the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had, because the ball card market, I want to say Donruss was one of the casualties.
Yeah.
In the late 80s, that the speculators got in there, bought up the thing, and there's a pattern to it.
Yeah.
The speculators get in.
Two major ones. You mentioned one on Donruss, and the other one was Upper Deck, because Upper Deck.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I
They
remember
took a
Upper Deck.
big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing, and then they moved to comics, then they moved out, because it's always the same pattern. The instigators go in, start investing, trading with each other usually. And this is about the time now that we're starting to get bulletin boards, we're starting to get AOL, CompuServe, and they can talk to each other electronically. And then the word gets out to other people. Now, meanwhile, this is economics 101. Other people hear about it, demand goes up. The production is still down here. And so high demand, low supply, price goes up. So then the publishers then start increasing their print runs, exponentially. Meanwhile, the original people have left because they've sensed that the bubble's about to burst, because they've helped burst it before.
Right.
And like when I was running running my own comic shop, we would have kids that would come in on Friday, buy their comics, then come back on Tuesday and want to sell them back at a profit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, seriously, it was crazy.
Again, they look at that price guy and be like, "Oh,
Right?
Right.
Your hand didn't keep going up for the publisher printing, because that's what they kept doing. They kept printing as the sales were going down. They kept printing and printing and printing.
Yeah, because
And then by the time they
getting to that.
figured out things weren't selling, it was too late, and
Yeah.
they were over flooding the market with all
Like,
this
we
stuff.
have 4 million #1 X-Men.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with it.
Exactly. And the thing
I
was,
got about 20 of them.
I bought my share during the day.
You got about 20 of same thing with X-Force #1.
Yeah, same thing.
I've got a couple of
Well, I've
those.
got to have some
Yeah.
of my polybagged and some not polybagged.
Well,
That's right.
this will show you exactly where I'm getting all of these #1 image from. My aunt and my cousin, they knew I was having they knew that I was having a really hard time with my health, and God bless them, they don't know anything about comic books, but they went to not a pawn shop, a flea market, and had and they bought me a huge bag full of these comics.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many #1 issues of Wildcats, X-Force, the 90s comics of Marvel and Image are all in here. And I'm like, and Robin, doesn't know a ton about like the history of comics or anything. But we were talking about, like, I was pulling them out, and she's like, "There's a lot of #1s in here." I was like, "Don't worry, they're not worth a thing." I was like, "We just got them pretty much. They bought them for maybe $5, like this entire stack."
And I see some of them in some of the Ollie Poly bags.
Right? Yeah.
So, but and probably somebody is asking right now, well, why couldn't Eric made a great point that production is going up, prices are going down, because now there's enough for everyone and then some. Well, why didn't the publishers cut their print runs? Because at the time you had I think at the time it was a 3-month lag between when you placed the order at the comic shop and the comic showed up. So they have no choice. They have to keep, and this is before Diamond and all the others changed the system where you could adjust your orders. You put in the orders, and that's where they were. You could only add to them.
Is that why they changed the system? So
because a lot of people got burned when
man.
So you've got 3 months where you have no choice because you've committed to your printer.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff's got to come out, and suddenly everybody has fled because they realize they're not going to be able to fund their college education with it. So
that's when they were printing millions.
Seriously.
But that led to another phenomenon, though.
Yeah.
And that phenomenon is how it is today.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm sorry, Jim.
With the publishers coming out with these 1 in 100s, 1 in 500s, 1 in 25s, 1 in 10. They're creating their own rarity. And the thing about it is, as long as they could control the print run, who's to say that it's truly a 1 in 25 and 1 in 50?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's just like it's the same problem
Mm-hmm. Packaged
all over
differently.
again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now here's the caveat to it. Let's just say that everybody, is trying to get the 1 in 100. You run out of the 1 in 100. Now you got a second printing of that 1 in 100. That's a standard
Yeah.
issue, and that goes up, and yet the
Mhm.
demand is still going to fall down because those people who want the original is gone away. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're still shooting yourself in the foot in the
Yeah.
long run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of bad economics.
That's the thing about numbering your comics. You can't just make multiple of number, of 1 out of 100.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here's another thing that Wizard did that a lot of people don't think about. They also influenced the convention scene.
Yeah.
Back then,
Yeah,
conventions you had
See-
except for your super conventions,
They
like
bought
San
it.
Diego or Chicago, or Chicago Con.
They bought the Chicago convention.
They bought
Yeah, now
Chicago
all
Con. They
the-
bought Mid Ohio
several
Con.
of them.
Yeah.
They bought like about a dozen of them,
Yeah,
and
all the
basically to
negative
put
stuff.
them out of business.
Yeah.
They never replaced them. They just
Yeah.
wanted them out so they could move their Wizard World show.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, all the negative stuff that I've heard about Wizard is that.
That's-
I've not
yeah.
heard the other stuff, but I've heard about the show stuff, and that was just gross.
I could tell you horror stories about Wizard World Chicago.
Mm.
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
why I wouldn't do another one after 2011.
Mhm.
I bet it wasn't as bad as one of the shows we had here in Louisville. Did you guys hear about the one where I'm sure you heard about it? The one that ended up in the abandoned Macy's.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
heard about that. I had
Yeah.
some friends that set up there. Yes.
Yeah, we actually had to threaten to sue them to get our money back
Yeah.
for that
wow.
show. It was they moved. They moved. I forgot what the show was called. They moved to another state, started another show, and they're doing it all over again. And they tried to come back to our fairgrounds, and a bunch of people recognized who it was, and they were like, "Hell no, don't let them come back." So,
Yeah. Yeah, so they've had to, even now we're still dealing with the impact of that because we've still got a lot of shows that they think that the Wizard World model is the one to go with. A lot of people that I know, Joe. It's like a whole bunch of quasi celebrities. Because it started out you would get the A-listers, but then after about 2 or 3 years, they're getting like, well, here's the guy that helped the letterer erase panels for like this third-rate comic book company.
because everybody wants that person's autograph.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, yeah.
I stood next to the guy that was a stand-in for somebody on The Walking Dead. Now you get a lot of that.
Yes.
And,
I
and
stood next to the guy.
yeah, and it's a lot of that sort of malarkey, in the
Yeah.
big conventions where the high ticket, where you spend like a couple $100 before you even walk into the show,
Oh,
and then there's nothing left for the dealers because they're
Absolutely.
spending it on the celebrities.
Uh-huh.
Or
Yeah, that
especially
was-
the little guys in Artist Alley.
Oh,
Oh,
they don't even
yeah,
get to us. By the time they get to us, they're
Wait.
like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I
You
didn't
got
know you
into
guys
an
were-"
artist alley after they promised some of the bigger name artists that they could come in and sit in artist alley.
That's why I go with smaller shows.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Yeah.
I've
I
never
am
been-
Artist
I never,
Alley.
I was gonna say, I never went to the Wizard shows, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I've gone
Yeah.
to a couple in St. Louis. There was barely any comics there.
Well, they're not
Oh, yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, where's the comics?
No, they sold out.
Yeah,
But
that's what
like
I
I
said.
said, I've been doing outside of this guy over here. I probably have been doing the Chicago Comic Con longer than anybody else here. I believe that this guy over here has done it more. So I have seen the transition from Chicago Comic Con to Wizard World.
yeah.
Once
And-
Marvel and DC pulled out of Wizard World,
Mhm.
all heck broke
Funny.
loose.
It was
Oh
done.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
done. It was
Yeah.
done because they had to survive off the celebrities. They had to bring in celebrities to get the people there. Now, mind you,
I'm sorry, I just saw Molly Daniels.
yeah, Chicago Comic Con had its diehard following.
Yeah.
Oh
People
yeah.
were going to come no matter what, just for the comic book aspect of it. Anyway, when they moved to that celebrity model,
hmm
now you gain a lot of the pop culture people there, and that's when you saw the shifting of the fandom not looking for comics anymore. They wasn't looking for the independent comic. They're not looking for the next thing. They're not looking at the vendors to buy that next book and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can personally speak to this one, Molly. You're right.
Yes, I agree. I moved here right when that battle was going on.
Ooh.
That's grisly.
That's well, I mean, even now, like they bumped up Artist Alley. I think it's a $275 fee for like a 6-foot table in Artist Alley. We're like, no, because we have to get a hotel and we have to. No, we're not doing that. That's stupid. So, hey, man, I'm poor.
No. I'm going where because I know how other bigger shows are. $275 to me is like, oh, that's cheap.
That's why I don't go to the shows.
C2E2, yeah.
You live in a part of the country that has a better overall payment rate, and because friends that I know in Chicago, when I talk about, I couldn't do a $275 table. If I were to say that, they would go, "Are you nuts? Grab that while you have a chance," because they're used to, they don't understand that the show I'm looking at is much smaller than and the people coming there. It's a much smaller crowd than a big show like
Hey,
C2E2.
man, I got to say, I will say this all day long. The best shows I have ever been to are library shows.
There you go.
Dead serious, man. Oh, sweet.
We got
puppy.
visitation.
Oh. Hi, puppy.
Hi, puppy.
He Chewbacca.
Oh, Chewie.
Chewie.
It's hard to tell, but this is actually like a little Chewbacca bandolier.
Come here. Let me show you off. Come here.
Let me show you to the dog. No.
She hates
What are you
your
barking
dog.
at? All right, mommy went. Go follow mommy.
I saw the look. I saw the ears. He's
Like cat. It's like cat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we almost had a real live event here.
Hey, man.
Molly Dale says that's what broke me last year. $50 for 3 photo ops plus $30 for 1 day admission plus $40 parking.
Yeah, man. Indiana Comic Con, it's so expensive just to get in. That like you said earlier, by the time they get to us in Artist Alley, nobody has any money. Nobody. Now the only good thing the only amazing experience I had at Indiana Comic Con was I got to meet and have a conversation with Kevin Conroy. That was the highlight of my Comic Con career so far. So yeah.
And Cookie did Indie PopCon. We did Indie PopCon, and I let her wander around. She got to meet with Sam Jones from Flash Guard. And what was funny, and we've got this in our dining room. She said, "Well, I loved you in that, and I loved you especially in My Chauffeur, but my husband liked you in the spirit." He reached under the table, pulled out a photo of him as the spirit.
Oh, yes.
Very what he pulled out.
Oh, yeah. And Nana Visitor was in the shot, too, so that was cool. And he also had some from The Highwayman.
Ooh.
That had been pre-signed by Claudia Christensen.
Ooh. I saw where he was signed up to be at a show somewhere on the circuit of the ones that I follow online, and also Colin Bunn is going to be on one of the shows coming out.
He's running out to get all his books autographed now.
Well, I tell you, another cool experience that I had, Brian, was the year that you interviewed James Marshall
Jones.
Yes.
When we were at the same show and didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other. No, that's right.
I watched you do your thing.
But that too, yeah.
Yes. No. He was so excited because a lot of people don't know it's a very niche group that listen to the Jim Butcher Dresden File audiobooks that he narrates, and my friend Joe and I had Dresden File books for him to sign, and he was there for the Superman stuff at the Superman celebration, and he lit up when we handed him those books. He freaked out more than we did meeting him. It was so funny, man. He
was fantastic.
He talked to us for like 5 minutes. It was
So that was your Chris Claremont moment, like I had.
Yes,
With
yeah,
prudence and caution.
yeah.
Oh,
Him
God, yeah.
stopping the whole line. It's like, you
Oh.
mind if I read this, number one? Sure.
Get your
He has
DNA
not
all
seen
over.
that copy of that in
Get
that
your
long. before he finds it.
DNA all over.
Well, yeah, and my moment was Phil Morris when he was doing Smallville, because he was, again, at Superman Celebration.
Yeah.
We had this big line snaking through the Chamber of Commerce, and he was signing things, and everybody's like, "Oh, you were great in Smallville. Oh, you were great in Smallville." And I leaned over and said, "I couldn't give less of a shit about Smallville. I want to talk Mission Impossible revival of the '80s." And yeah, my man here, and they know it. And he jumped up on his feet, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've been waiting for something to ask."
That's awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't talked for about 2 minutes, and this guy's jumping up and down like, somebody plugged him in. And everybody's like, "What'd Brian do?"
Yeah.
Something going on. It was wild, but yeah, he was just so excited to have to talk about something other than Smallville or Seinfeld. That was a cool moment.
It was a similar feel that James Marsters gave us. He was like, "Oh yes, something else."
Yeah,
he loves those books.
Mhm.
I mean, he has personally petitioned to, like, he even went and because there was one, he had a different
He had a schedule conflict.
Yes, and
Yes.
he couldn't do Ghost Story.
Right.
And he actually went back and did that one. They redid it with him because he was so adamant about keeping all of them him. And at that time, Jim Butcher hadn't put anything out in a while.
Yeah.
And we asked him, we were like, "Hey, like, when is the next book coming out?" Because it had been like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't know, but I'm about to call him and find out because I want to read another one."
Oh, he was one of my more fun interviews to do.
He
I've
was
done
so
several.
nice. Yeah.
And
so
he was very nice to me. It was like he was very complimentary about the fact that I asked him different questions than most people do, because I try to ask different questions. Probably my favorite, though, this is a little side, probably my worst moment, though, to me, was I was interviewing Elliot S. Magan, who was one of the chief Superman writers in the 70s and 80s. And I'm at the Superman Celebration. I have a friend who's in the audience taking a microphone around to the people so we can hear their questions. And of course, somebody raises their hand and is waving. I said, "You in the back in the Superman shirt."
Oh,
I'm in Metropolis, and Megan, like this at me. And the thing is, I talked to Elliot about a year and a half later, and we were having a little reunion. And I mentioned that being one of my low IQ moments. And he's like, "I thought you meant to do that."
Actually, when you just said it, I thought it was a joke.
No, unfortunately, it was not a joke.
Unfortunately, my IQ was the joke. So
And what was even worse, I had another event the next day. I did the very same thing. My God, anybody can make one mistake, but to make the same mistake twice, boy. It takes a pro.
Definition of about something like that. Yeah,
I'm a freaking genius. Oh, Charles, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Check out stormgatepress.com, right, Clyde? Yes.
Oh, mine's in the other room.
Yeah.
Dang it.
There we go.
And let's see. I think Sean Cassidy found it refreshing. We talked about screenwriting instead of fangirling all of my 12-year-old self. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, a lot of celebrities get asked the same thing over and over. I interviewed one time, again, an aside here. I interviewed Gerard Christopher and John Rockwell. Gerard Christopher was Superboy in the 90s.
The second one.
The second one, and John Rockwell was the first from the Unsold Pilot from the 60s. And I got to talk to them, and I was interviewing them in front of the audience. And at one point, I asked them a question. Gerard Christopher just looks at me and goes, "I've been doing interviews for 30 years. I've never been asked that question."
That's impressive.
I was like, my weekend's made.
Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, I think we have dissected that. And so now you know why wizard or scum. But anyway,
the more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know, and you still have your Toy Fair issues. You got some gold there. But if you got Wizard magazine issues,
I don't.
Except for the one that Eric's in.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going
That
straight.
one should be graded and framed.
Yay!
I found my copy. It's still in the bag. So
Oh wow!
and we
It's
have
got a sexy Catwoman cover with Wonder Woman and Supergirl.
oh yeah. Charles Millhouse says my first meeting with James Marsters was at a urinal at a convention.
Okay, so I read that as at a urinal convention.
We were at the
I was
Elgin-
like, why were you both there?
we were at the 20.
There's got to be some.
We were at the 20. We were at the 2020 Elger trade show, and
Yeah. And the one question you can't ask him was, what color were his eyes? You know there's no eye contact at that moment.
Oh man! Like I've been to Funeral Con, but I didn't know there was a urinal con.
Yeah. I've been to a funeral director convention one
Oh,
time.
there's something, man.
Oh, they are so much fun. They really
they
are.
are.
I've never been to a comic convention where I've had that much fun.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were-
And apparently it's like one big weird fraternity thing. There's a lot of sex happening during those weekends, apparently.
At
Well-
urinal conventions?
Yeah, weird stuff.
but it's all. Never mind. I will stop.
There's a lot of eye connection there,
Oh,
Eric.
Oh,
Rodman,
God.
I did send you a link. As long as you can still see your links. I don't know if you're banned from those too. It's a video by Dan Larson about Wizard and Toy Fair.
Oh,
no,
cool, thanks.
cool.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, and Charles said you'd be surprised what kind of cons I've been at. Yeah, I've got a few. I'm waiting for the statute of limitations to expire. So, yeah, I totally get you. So anyway,
Wait, did Neil Gaiman get the idea from you about the cereal convention?
maybe.
Maybe.
No, actually, I've got a really good photo of. This is back in the day when I used to take tons of photos. I've got a photo of Neil Gaiman when he was first taking over Sandman before he became awesome.
Oh, back
And
when
an
he was
icon?
all grungy looking.
Well, he still had the black leather jacket and the sunglasses and everything. And he's like 20 feet away, and I know he's on his way to somebody. And I go, "Hey, Neil, can I get a picture?" And he's like, just long enough for me to snap the thing. "Thanks, Neil. Go on." And he's like, "Okay, thanks," and he runs off. So, and Molly Daniels is weighing in on this. She's measuring her life and saying, "I'm clearly attending the wrong ones." No,
Molly, just don't do it.
no, seriously, no. You don't want to. Imagine what kind of trouble I can get into.
Eric, did the mothership just call you?
No, it just started raining really hard.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been putting that.
I saw you do this.
Yeah, we've been getting that all day too. I was wondering if we were going to get a storm while we're on the air, but no, we managed to slide through.
Wonderful.
So,
Eric, are you on a show tonight? Are you doing
Yes.
your drawing?
I am on a show tonight.
What's the subject?
We are drawing characters from Herman P. Hunter's second novel, The Wizard's Stone, which he just released, I think, last month. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
He's also the co-host of the show, but it's his second novel he's done in the last year.
oh, nice, very cool, very cool.
What's it called? I'll check it out.
The Wizard's Stone by Herman P. Hunter.
The Wizard's Kidney Stone.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like,
No magic will cure this. Oh.
that would be a great book.
Let me try a
I
shrink.
gotta start writing here.
Let me try a shrink spell. Oh, I've got the enlarge spell. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I shrank the wrong thing. Oh.
And suddenly he's dateless for years. But anyway,
Isn't it
his
sad?
first book, I don't think he's got the audio version done on this one yet, but the first one, he found this English guy. It sounds great doing it. It's awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Yeah, nice.
I dig me some good British audiobook, guys. So, check that out.
You ought to check out Jenna Morisi's stuff then, because she's got
Yeah.
a guy who's got like a voice like honey, and he's British. Yeah,
Whoa,
What
Eric,
was
you might need
that?
to get off here, or you're gonna blow up.
So you heard that?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was thunder.
Yeah.
Dude,
Either
did it
that or
strike
Billy
your
Bat
That was
house?
thunder.
next
This is
door.
lightning.
If this one don't get you, this
right.
one will.
So maybe we ought to let Eric sign off first.
Yeah, don't die, Eric.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so anyway, Eric, it's been nice knowing you. Where can people
You know, my toys fell. I'm happy. So, I'm Eric. I can't believe that was so loud. You guys heard it.
Loud and clear too, man.
You know, I'm the creator of the Zombieful World of Oz.
Yeah.
Right there, we're launching issue 5, April 21st on Kickstarter. You can find the link for the sign up there, and I've been working on the same 2 pages for the last week.
They
Do
must
better,
be good
Eric.
pages, Eric.
Oh, it's a 2-page spread with 10 panels on it. I almost have it completely flatted now. So
How many zombies are on these pages?
none
Oh.
on this.
Your
This is,
editor sees it.
This is Dorothy and the Scarecrow are having dinner with Queen Langwidere, and Langwidere likes to collect heads and wear different heads on her body.
Heck
And,
yeah.
yeah. So obviously she wants Dorothy's head. Come on, we all know that. So it's 10 panels of fight.
If it's not shoes, it's heads. What's the deal here?
I know,
Right.
women and their accessories.
That HR is calling Eric Hawkins now.
Oh man.
And we have a comment here. Y'all talked about the weather now it's storming here. You jinxed it.
Yeah.
We're wizards.
So
Yes.
I'm hopping off. It was good seeing y'all. See you next week.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Eric.
So long, farewell. Hello.
Oopsie.
Who knows who
Oh.
I'm going to throw it to?
Well, hi, I'm Brian, and anything that I do, you can go here, check it out. Right now on patreon.com/Brian Rodman, I am putting out chapters of my upcoming illustrated novel, Memoirs of an Angel, The Grey Pilgrim. If you have gotten any of the comics for Memoirs of an Angel, that story plus so much more is going to be covered in this first novel. And it's going to kick off our Cosmic Wheel universe, where other characters, where a couple other people in this group are also working with me to bring these characters to life in different stories that are all happening. They're still self-sustaining, but they're all happening in the same universe at different points in history.
It's
So yeah,
all connected. It's all connected.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Get our aluminum foil hats, fellas. But for the special announcement, this weekend, expect the Nebulizer 2 digital rewards to be sent to your inboxes. And we just got the bookmarks in. The trading cards are on their way, and I am about to send the book to the printers.
Yay!
And to answer your question, Joe, I have plotted issue 3.
Yay!
That wasn't my question. My question would have been: Is now the time to start that? But I guess
I already did it.
Yep.
Well, what happened was
Well,
one
Sam
day
is
I was
way.
I was working on some stuff and it just kind of hit me, and I was like tippity type, and just typed out a paragraph of the whole plot, and now it's done. So yeah, I don't have
Excellent.
dialogue yet or anything, but I know what's going to happen now, and it's going to be fun. There's 4 issues in total,
Cool.
so 3 is not the end. So expect an issue the next 2 years.
You're right.
Sweet.
So yeah, other than that, I'm Brian, and I have made it an entire episode in my doodle sanctum, and that is a
Yay.
good day.
Yay!
And you look good
Thanks for
there.
having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
brother.
being had.
Thanks, I love it.
And I loved
Hey,
watching it. So anyway, here we go, Joe.
Oh man, a part of me still wants to do this. Anything he can do, I can do better.
Take a full breath.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a low.
Oh, that's a
blow,
low blow, Brian. That's a low
factual.
blow.
but factual.
But
I love you, Brian.
I
but you
love
can
you
reach
too.
you can reach me at any given time on my link tree here. Unfortunately, I got my StreamYard set up for the actual credentials up under my name, so it doesn't appear on it when we do Comic Book Spectrum. But you could get it at LNINKTR.E as in Edward, E as in Edward /Silvote, and that will bring up everything. That includes my DeviantArt, the 2 YouTube channels, the Twitch channel, the company website where you could get books like these. That was going to be there at C2E2 come next weekend. So hopefully we'll see you next weekend and everything. And as far as From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher coming up this Saturday, we will be, if everything works out right, we'll probably be moving towards page 32 of issue number 4 of Primetime Saturday Night. We'll be working on pages of that book. I'm trying to get that one done as soon as possible because April is just right around the corner, and that's the time that I wanted to start on Amazonia issue number 8. We're going to work with Amazonia issue number 8, but I don't want to stop working on Primetime Saturday Night. So I'm going to try to get the last, if we're about to get ready to work on page 32, that means about another 18 pages, at least graphic wise, done. And then once the graphics and stuff done, we start with the lettering and editing and everything to that magnitude. And yes, there will be another pickups video coming this weekend where we're going to have things that were picked up over the weekend. And as a teaser, we're going to do something like that. Ooh. To kind of tease you to see what else could be in the stack of what got picked up this week. So with that being said, for those who are playing bingo and haven't got there yet, we're going to toss it over to the gold standard, Clyde Hall.
Yes, we are.
Hey, good luck this week at C2E2, Joe.
No, next week.
Oh, next week. Sorry. Well, good luck. Good luck next week. Good luck this weekend, and good luck next week. Even more good luck next week.
I just remembered. Brian, can you put it back to me really quick?
Well, since you bake so nicely.
I know. Hi. So I'm unfortunately not going to be at Lexington Comic Con this weekend, but my table will. Ooh. And my wife and her assistant and dear friend Sarah will also be there as well, selling all of our books. And for the first time at a show, we will be selling Pulp Reality number 4.
Yeah.
Yes, where I wrote a story called Midnight Mason, which is a wonderful homage to The Shadow, and it takes place in 1930. And of course, the bad guys are the Nazis with little H.P. Lovecraft twist. So go to Lexington Comic Con, see everybody, say hi, take some pictures, buy some indie art, and swing by the Art of Brian Rodman booth and pick up your copy of Pulp Reality number 4 this weekend. Thank you. Now back to Clyde.
Yeah, well, good luck this weekend with your table. And Joe, good luck next weekend with your table at C2E2. I'm Clyde Hall. I'm an elder statesman of geekery. Not the elder, but an elder. There we go. I don't have the fez to be the elder, but independent author and a contributing writer at Stormgate Press. And you can find all of the things that I write right here on the Amazon page. And you should also check out Stormgate Press's www.stormgatepress.com, because there's even more variety there, as well as a heads up of new projects coming out. My stuff is in the new pulp divisions, and been part of the Pulp Factory award-winning anthology series, Pulp Reality 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is what you need to find at Brian Rodman's table this weekend.
Woo!
Also, some of their projects, like The Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland, Volume 1 by Charles F. Milhouse, and Tim Bruckner's Major Marjorie. So I've been in those, and also coming up soon, this year, a little bit later, we're going to be having Stormgate Press launch a different frontier of new pulp anthologies with Spurs and Six Shooters, Tales of the Old West. That's going to be galloping your way very soon. I am currently part of the comic book review crew at comicsbeat.com, aka The Beat, as well as right here. So join us next week. NCBD +1, of Thursday nights at Comic Book Spectrum.
All right. Thank you, Clyde.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all of you guys. Thank you very much. And thank you all for being here. I'm Brian K. Morris. I'm at www.risingtide.pub. Check it out for connections to all my broadcasting.
Rising Tide, home of the Peekaboo blog.
That's right, kid. That's right, folks. So touch that dial. And there's going to be all kinds of surprises there. As far as our broadcasting, also please check out our brand new show. We had an episode Monday. It's called No Warning because we're never going to announce when we're doing it. So you need to subscribe to this channel here on YouTube and also on Facebook. You can also subscribe to the shows on Facebook. And that way you won't miss an episode if they do their job. I'm taking a big risk doing that. But anyway, I am a writer, award-winning writer. And we're also with Stormgate Press as well as our own Rising Tide imprint. Yeah. And Comic World of Oz, I'm the editor of that, which means I correct all of Eric's spelling mistakes, which, believe me, there's enough that I've earned my title. I should talk. But anyway... we've got all kinds of cool stuff coming up from Rising Tide .pub coming up soon. In about 6 weeks, we're going to be putting out the 10th anniversary hardcover edition of Santa Stein, our biggest seller. It's sold in 8 different countries around the world. And it's also going to include not only a better shot of the front cover by Trevor Eric Hawkins, no relation to the Eric Hawkins, but it also is going to have a copy of the stage play that inspired the book. So please check that out. I'm excited to get that out, our very first hardcover. And then sometime this summer, we're also going to be doing the Terrors based on the old Black Terror comic books, but with a bit of a twist. It's coming from me, so you know it's twisted. So anyway, please check that out. Check out everything you saw here. Please visit your local comic shop because they've got all kinds of cool stuff going. And also want to thank the people that help us keep doing what we do here at Rising Tide. And we're going to start with our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite authors, writers, artists directly. And it's only $1 a month, and you get to see my exclusive twice weekly blog. If you're $5 or more, you get that, and you get to see my first draft flash novel, which is going to be Volcana 2, my very first sequel. This is going to be a big year for us. But anyway, if you want to see what all we have for you, check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And Rising Tide Publications is where you get to see most of my work when I'm not working for other people. And also, we are sponsored by Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Definitely check out their Facebook page and then go over to plasmafiregraphics.com and ask Jeffrey Hayes, the artist in charge, about his indie creator-friendly pricing. You'll be glad you did. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. As far as my personal appearances, Saturday, April 1st, which is a week from this coming Saturday, I will be at the SI Comic-Con at the Benton Civic Center, 414 Huddleston Street in Benton, Illinois. Home of John Malkovich. Please come see us. It's going to be a great show down there. And I will be joined by friends Amy Hale, Kathy Jackson, Molly Daniels, and I don't know who else, but it's going to be a great, great time. We hope that you will come see us. And then on the 21st through the 23rd, I will be up in Lombard, Illinois at the Yorktown Shopping Center Weston Lombard Yorktown Center. I knew it was something complicated, but we'll be up there for Windy City Pulp and Paper show. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be joined by people like Ron Forty or Rob Davis, Jim Beard, John C. Bruning, Sorella Smith, and a whole bunch of other wonderful writers. And Will Murray will be there, the co-creator of Squirrel Girl. So y'all come up and see us. It's going to be a great time up there in Lombard. And then in May, I will be at Free Comic Book Day at Castle Perilous at 207 West Main in Carbondale, Illinois. We'll be down there with some our new books and everything, and we're just going to be ready to have a good time with you all down in Carbondale. Haven't been there in a good long time. But if you want to find out more about my schedule, sign up for my monthly insider information newsletter at risingtide.pub. You'll see a special place where you can sign up. And we look forward to seeing you there. And also, don't forget, if you have enjoyed even a second of this show, or maybe even 3 or 4 of them, not consecutively, be sure to subscribe to this channel because it helps us defeat the algorithms. Leave us a comment. We'll try to talk back to you. And generally, join us next week because we're going to have some more comments, more cutting up, more folderol, because who's got more folderol than us? And
at least one review.
And at least one review. I might even do it. Who knows? We got Clyde. We got the good people here. But anyway, please check it out. And thank you all for being here. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Thank you for joining us here on Comic Book Spectrum. We'll see you here next week. And have a great week, everyone. Be sure to visit your local comic book shop. Take care, everyone.